Hi, I'm Megan Alexander, and this is Middle East Tomorrow. 5 years ago, the U.S. brought leaders from Israel, Morocco, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain together to sign the Abraham Accords. That historic day ignited a cross-border movement of changemakers who are joining forces to reshape the region. Join me as I uncover the stories of the people transforming the Middle East today and tomorrow. Go to partners.foxnews.com/Met. 5 years ago, the U.S. brought leaders from Israel, Morocco, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain together to sign the Abraham Accords. I'm Megan Alexander, and this is Middle East Tomorrow. Go to partners.foxnews.com/Met.
He is.
On that note.
He is. Live from New York. It's a show that's wishing you a happy Friday wherever you are. It's the special episode of First Things First.
The eve of, for my money, the best sports weekend of the year every year. Divisional round playoff weekend with the college football national championship as a little dessert on Monday night.
That is like a little dessert.
It is my favorite sports weekend of the year.
Some people might argue March Madness,
but
opening weekend.
That is a good one.
That's up
there. Masters weekend for some, I get it. But of all the NFL playoff weekends, this is my favorite one. I'm a little annoyed at the coaching news taking up so much of the news this week when we have these four great games. Best sports weekend of the year, for my money, is
Well, look, if it's anything like the opening weekend of the playoffs, which was fantastic.
Unreal.
Thank you. I was saying that, and you guys were making fun of me.
Well, you tweeted it. You don't have to tweet it.
You weren't
You're
saying it
on
because you were
television.
tweeting, what a great game.
It was
3 for
great
3.
game.
The
CC
charisma
Magic
with which I
Johnson.
said it doesn't come out.
Today, do we trust Caleb or Matthew Stafford more in the clutch if this game comes down to the wire? Meanwhile, a special divisional round edition of Most to Gain, one of the more popular segments. You want to buy stock in First Things First segments? Put a lot of money in Most to Gain. You might gain some money.
Good one, Caleb.
If you bet that Michael Jordan's in it, you start.
He was in it last
No,
year.
he's not
He's not
gonna be.
gonna
There's
be.
No,
no
he'll be in
chance.
most to lose.
Bro, there's no chance.
Really?
Oh, there's no chance he's going to be in it.
Dinner.
Danny Parkins owes me a seafood tower.
What's that got to do with
That's a no.
I can parlay my seafood tower to brew.
Okay. So you're just trying to get out of hanging out with Danny.
I don't
You are
want,
such a bad guy.
I just want the tower.
I walked up to Wilds in the makeup room.
He's like,
said,
"What's-
how
he's
are
like,
you
what's
doing?"
going on?
I didn't say what's going on.
Hey,
I
what's
said,
up?
how are you doing?
I'm like, I
because
don't know,
they said
dude.
you're supposed to check
We're
on
gonna
your
talk till
friends.
6 p.m.
And this is what he said.
They don't say check on your friends when they're just getting makeup on.
He goes, we talk enough for money. We don't have to talk for free.
Exactly. I'm
what
going
he said.
to invoice you. We're starting with Broncos-Bills Saturday afternoon. Broncos will get after Josh, but bad news, Broncos fans. Look who's excellent under pressure. Highest passer rating under pressure in the last 10 years of postseason play. Josh's game in Jacksonville was 4th best ever. So who do you trust more, Josh Allen?
That's a hell of a list.
It's pretty good, right?
It is a heck of a.
Patrick Mahomes a couple times and Jaquaski Tart. Wow.
Who do you trust more, Josh Allen or this Broncos defense?
Give me Josh Allen all day, all night. He's a playoff performer. I mean, was that playoffs or that was just?
That was the highest single playoff games. That was his game against
The last
Jacksonville.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is fantastic in the playoffs. As great as he is in the regular season, he ratchets it up in the playoffs, which is impressive because even a lot of great quarterbacks haven't done that. Even ones that aren't known for struggling in the playoffs, they still may not play as well in the playoffs. A lot of people say being clutch is in the playoffs or the big moments, you can perform as well as you do in the regular season. Just as well. Because the competition is better, the stakes are higher. If you can actually go to another level, that's impressive and unique. And look at his numbers when it comes to the postseason. He improves in everything and declines in nothing. Touchdown percentage, he essentially stays even. Yards per attempt. But yards total, interception percentage, which is really impressive, drops in these huge games. Completion percentage, passer rating. He's 5th all time in postseason passer rating. So for a guy that his passer rating generally isn't incredibly high in the regular season, for him to do that in the playoffs. And also, look, Denver's defense is very good. Obviously, there's 68 sacks this year. They are a tremendous defense. I'm not trying to say they aren't, but they can be gotten.
Yes.
Jacksonville, 34 points. Green Bay, 26 points. Indianapolis with Daniel Jones, 29 points. The Giants, maybe they took them lightly, but 32 points with Jackson Dart. Washington with Marcus Mariota gets 26 points. So I just think that, and finally, last year, when Denver's defense was great then, they were third, I believe, in points allowed per game. And Josh Allen and the Bills go and put 31 on them.
Spotted them a 7-0 lead and then scored 31 straight.
So I'm trusting Josh Allen.
So I also trust Josh Allen more. His playoff numbers are interesting because there's no spot where they're bad, but where he is the greatest wild card weekend quarterback ever. And then he's quite good, even though he doesn't have a great record, because that's all Mahomes stuff, in the next 2 rounds. If you look at his playoff stats with it split, wild card weekend, 16 touchdowns, 2 picks, 114 rating. Divisional round conference championship, again, I'm not going to hold the win-loss record against him too much, because really only the Bengals divisional round game 3 years ago was he bad in. He's been somewhere from good to excellent.
He was great in some of the losses.
Right, particularly, obviously, the 13 seconds game. But 10 touchdowns, 2 picks, passer rating drops. And this round, he has the 13 seconds game. And then other than that, a win against Baltimore where the offense scores 1 touchdown. He has 200 yards passing. Mm-hmm. The bad Cincinnati game. Last year in this round against Baltimore, he passed for 127. And ran 10 times for 20 yards. So, he has not been prolific in this round, but I trust him, and this is where I want Bills fans, we can unite on this front.
Have you been accepted into the Bills?
I do have to say, they are, when people say they're great fans, and I have poked fun at times, they are certainly some of the kinder, more welcoming of all the NFL fan bases.
Yes.
And they don't have a lot of vindictiveness. There's not a lot of that. And so I don't know if I'll ever be welcome to it, but they don't, I think, hate me the way maybe other fan bases would have if my team and their team had this half-decade rivalry. But these are the moments where guys with all-time great skill sets can start to become all-time greats. These are the moments where guys who we think have legendary talent can start to become legends. When you're on the road, you're a little banged up. You might not have the better team, but you know what? It's close enough, and I got you guys. Mm-hmm. And that is what I expect to see from Josh Allen this weekend. It is unfair for me to say I expect him to do that in 4 consecutive rounds. For them to win the Super Bowl, I think he's going to have to be very good in every single game. But one of these games, he's going to need, wow, that was the James Cook game, or wow, the defense forces a pick 6. I don't think he's going to be able to, go solo through 4 rounds of the playoffs, because it does only get harder. But what you saw last week was his first semi-legendary playoff moment in a win. That he doesn't have any other. All of the great Josh Allen playoff stuff that we talk about has come in games moments, games he lost. Last week's drive against the Jags. It's not legendary, it's wild card round against Jags, but it could be the start of a story. And I think he continues that story this weekend. And in part because of what you were saying, Brew, I don't think, KW, the Broncos defense is as good right now as it was late October. I still think it's very good, but I think that
the bulk, maybe 60 or more % of their sacks happened prior to that.
I think it started fading a bit last year, at the end of last season as well. I don't mean it was great at the beginning of this year, But I'm just saying it was really good last year, and then I thought it faded a little bit toward the end.
If Josh
we
Allen
saw in the playoff game.
wins this game, we kick around like, hey, did this team get exposed? That Jacksonville against the Broncos game will be like, oh, the Broncos defense got exposed.
See, can I push back on that for
Sure.
a second?
If he has his way, not if it's like
Right, or it might mean that despite going 12-5 this year, the Bills were better than some people gave them credit for. The Bills, like Josh Allen playing a great game and the Bills scoring 30 points does not necessarily have to mean that the Broncos were defensive frauds. It might mean that there has been an underrating in some quarters of the Buffalo Bills.
30 points is a lot. If you're third in points and second in yards.
I mean, the Bills
30
averaged
points
28 points per game.
I think exposed would be too much, but it would be if they give up 30. I don't think it'll be 31-7 like last year.
No.
But if they give up 30 and it's not that close, 30-17, 31-17,
Can't give up 30
something like
points
that,
at home.
That would be a bit
alarming.
alarming.
I don't think they're going to score 30. I just said that because the Bills average, 28 and a half?
Yeah, they're one of the
So,
top.
that's right around that would be their season average. I think that the Bills offense is going to have enough success against the Broncos defense that the Broncos offense is going to have to go out there and match points for a bit. And I don't know if they're built to do that.
Run the ball. Sean Payton was like, I'm going to write on my note card, run the ball.
It's going to be interesting. If they can run the ball.
It did feel like
that
Jacksonville
is a
got
part
away
of their
from that.
path.
They were averaging 7 yards a carry,
Yeah.
Nuts.
and they stopped running.
All right, Texans-Patriots Sunday afternoon. Texans defense excellent, and Drake Maye well aware. Take a listen.
Yeah, they fly around. They're relentless. They're great up front. They're great in the back end. They got great linebackers. They're great all around. They're great coaching. So we got our hands full, and we know it's going to be a tough game.
This is a question about guarantees. We'll go around the table to see if anybody is willing to go there. Brew, we can start with you. Are you willing to guarantee that the number 2 seeded Patriots will beat the Texans?
No.
Okay. That's one no.
Yeah.
Are you willing to guarantee it, Nick?
Guarantee it.
A guarantee. You can bet something on it if you like.
Yeah, I might have the Patriots in
Nick's
Nick's picks today, and that's not just them to win. That's them -3. But guarantee it?
Yeah, guarantee it.
I will not.
Okay. I have great news for everybody. And if you want to offer up some potential bets, I'm all ears. I'm willing to guarantee a Patriots victory. Because I was a little bit nervous.
Great.
I was a little bit nervous about the Texans defense. They are a great defense. And I don't just want to be, a Patriots fan. And then I realized, aren't we a great offense? Don't we have the MVP, potentially, at quarterback? Shouldn't they be the ones worried about us? Isn't it going to be cold in New England? Aren't we favored? Hasn't the Houston Texans have never gotten out of this round? They beat up on an overmatched quarterback, Flacco or Herbert or Rodgers, and then they get to the next round, Mahomes and Lamar, and then they lose. And that was what probably will happen in New England.
Probably. No problem.
I apologize.
No problem.
I apologize for a measured response. I meant guaranteed. And it goes back to, we already beat the number 1 defense in the league. The famous, I'm worried about him, but I also don't think it matters, Browns game when Myles Garrett had a bunch of sacks on Drake Maye. This was Drake versus the Browns, week 8 when we won 32-13. The Browns defense was the number 1 defense in the league in Foxborough when Drake Maye lit them up. Because he put 32 points, and more importantly, we had a bunch of yards, the Browns dropped from being number 1, and the Texans became
Well, that's
the number
not
1.
the only reason.
Well, it's one of the reasons.
Okay, but the Browns also, I think, shortly thereafter, I think Cam Ward scored 34 on them.
I'm just saying this was
They began falling
Yes,
off.
This was the
beginning.
tipping point.
Okay, sure, that's one way to look at
D'Amico
it.
Ryan says, hey, everybody, good news.
Yeah.
Because the Patriots destroyed the Browns, we are now the number 1
Okay.
defense. So does it just happen once? Well, let's look at when we played top 10 defenses and how we've done. 4-1.
I do like this.
Totally. We can move the ball. Completion percentage 67, fourth best ever. Touchdown and turnovers 9-4. Top 10 defenses, and this includes the Chargers game last week. So
you're guaranteeing.
I'm willing to guarantee
Mr.
it.
Defense wins championships.
Well, guess who else has a good defense?
Not the Texans level.
But
it's
Not the
But it's a
Texans
very
level,
good
but
defense.
CJ's not playing at Drake's level either.
100% agree. It's
So
one of the
we're-
reasons I might be picking the Patriots -3. I'm surprised it felt to me, Brew, and then you please go, that mid-December, you felt the team that scared you the most was Houston. I think
After that Josh Allen game.
whenever it was.
Terrifying.
Like there was a period of time where you liked the Patriots against Denver, the Patriots against the Chargers, the Patriots against Buffalo, and the team you didn't want to face was Houston, and now you're getting them, and it even felt like 2 days ago you were a little
Yesterday,
nervous.
you sounded like you were.
I started to feel. Can I give you
hesitant.
one more stat that I felt good about? I don't really feel great about it, to be honest with you, because it involves an injury and a friend of the show, Nico Collins. But
that matters.
Nico Collins is not going to play. He's going to be out with a concussion. Christian Gonzalez is going to play. God bless you. Christian Gonzalez is going to play. He's going to blanket Christian Kirk. So I think Christian Kirk is going to be basically taken out of the game.
I think that
Gonzalez has been out of his mind. When CJ does not played without his number one wideout, with Nico Collins, his passer rating's down to 86, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
86 is about what it is. I think for the year it's like 89.
No, it feels like he's like
it was. I think it was around
underwhelmed
87,
this year, but I think we
86.
all sort of believe in CJ, but just hasn't really.
I'm going with the Texans.
But why?
Wow.
Because I think their defense, I get all these nice stats and stuff, but this is the playoffs, and it's different. And we saw that last week.
Wow.
You
It's
thought
gonna
Drake
punch you in
couldn't
the
come
face.
out and struggle. What did Drake do?
He struggled.
Come out and struggle. Now, he played well. I liked him
No, he
better.
came out- he was
I liked
really
him more
bad in
than
the
you
first
did.
half.
I thought he played better than you thought he played. But he showed that, it's not the regular season. It's not the same thing. And this Texans team, this is their third straight year in the divisional round.
Correct.
You said it. CJ Stroud, for as young as he is in his 6th playoff game already.
Yeah.
And this is the round they keep getting beat in. And last year, I thought they played Kansas City tough. They lost that game. It wasn't really in the balance at any point, but it was a closer game than I expected.
Yeah.
Baltimore had blown them out the year before, Houston, in this round. But CJ didn't have, as pedestrian as CJ was this year, he was worse last year. And he played a little bit better in the playoffs. Like, he's never been horrible. I mean, last week, all the drops and stuff. What I liked about him last week, I'm predicting he's going to play better than he did last week. Even with all the bobbles and fumbles and the one pick, he still made some big throws. Here's one you mentioned. Christian
I
Kirk.
thought he made 2 awesome plays.
Yeah,
I don't know which ones you're pulling.
we don't have the video, but Kirk, the 46-yarder to Kirk down the right sideline.
That's right.
And I just thought, as bad a day as CJ was having in a tough game against a legendary quarterback on the other side, he showed mental toughness to still make those throws, still threw for 250 yards. And I think he's going to play much better than he did a week ago. And I just think that defense is going to give you – I'm not guaranteeing the Texans win, but I think that defense is going to give you guys some more problems. So I'm going with the Texans.
So here's the question I have. Because listen, I'm picking the Pats. The whether or not I'm doing the -3 or not, save for Nick's picks, but the Pats are my pick. The only way I think I will regret that pick, KW, is if during the game I start to think of these defenses I'm about to show you. Because this century, there have been 4 instances of a defense just being like, yeah, we're just going to ransack the league en route to a championship. And it's the 2000 Ravens, the 02 Bucks, the 2013 Seahawks, and the 2015 Broncos. Those are, in my opinion, and I think inarguably, the 4 best Super Bowl winning defenses. And KW, let me show you. What do you before I even show it, you seem skeptical, so go ahead.
No, it's Josh McDaniels has I want to get it right. How many defenses Josh McDaniels has beaten on that list? But keep going.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can tell you none of them. None of those four specific teams. Mm-hmm. But here is what
I'm counting regular season as well.
Here is what those. I mean, okay, and I still believe it's none of those teams. But here is what those 4 teams did in the playoffs. The 2000 Ravens allowed 16 points total, 1 touchdown scored to themselves, and in 4 games had 12 takeaways. The 2002 Bucks forced 13 takeaways, had 4 pick sixes, and allowed 10 points per game. The 2013 Seahawks allowed 13 points, had 8 takeaways, beat peak Drew Brees, peak Colin Kaepernick, and peak Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, 55 touchdowns. Right, and made
Denver.
And 2015 Denver, 7 takeaways, allowed less than 15 points per game, beat Big Ben, Tom Brady, and Cam in his MVP year. These Texans have started the playoffs. They have allowed 6 points. They have 2 pick sixes. Yep. And I don't, it has been.
6 and a.
Oh, pick, I'm sorry, 2 defensive touchdowns, correct. It's been a decade since we've had one of these. We get about one a decade. The 85 Bears did it. We get about one a decade. I'm not predicting it. But if it happens, I think we are going to be looking at this Texans team on Monday's show as holy moly. Are they about to go on that type of run defense, where nobody's getting to 14 on them, where the defense might outscore the offense on them? And I mean, the
Josh McDaniels stat, I really like that. Brady, it is something, I think, that Josh McDaniels could be watching this segment and say, oh, I have played 2 of those defenses, Legion of Boom, the next year in the Super Bowl. Okay, got that one, but you can say, that's the famous Marshawn Lynch game. And then lost to Denver 2018, Brady had 336 yards. So, John, okay, have I gotten better? Have I learned anything from playing that defense that I can sort of use? Drake May's not Tom Brady.
Drake May's not peak Tom Brady.
But I think Josh McDaniels has gotten better in 10 years of being an offensive coordinator. I have seen this before. I'm not a brand new offensive coordinator. I've played 2 of those all-time great defenses. I've got a trick up my sleeve or 2.
Okay. I mean, I think that however much better Josh McDaniels has gotten is a smaller improvement in the gap between 2010's Tom Brady in his, 13th or 11th AFC Championship game versus Drake May.
Couldn't run, though. Guess who's back? Not yet, but guess who wants to be back by week 1? Patrick Mahomes. Take a listen.
Hitting all the checkpoints that the doctor wants you to do and getting the strength and the range of mobility back. So that's been going great. The doctor kind of gives you goals to get to, and I just try to maximize those, and they hold me back because I always want to go a little bit further. I want to be ready for week 1. The doctor said that I could be, but I can't predict what's going to happen throughout the process. But that's my goal, and so I'll try to prepare myself to be ready to play in that week 1 and have no restrictions.
Seems very optimistic.
He's going to be dancing at Travis's wedding.
Oh,
he's going to be playing in week 1. I believe we will see Patrick Mahomes dancing at Travis Kelce's wedding. And I believe Patrick Mahomes will be ready for week 1. Now, I also believe the Chiefs should operate as if he won't be, meaning have a plan in place for in September, we're going to have to be able to win with replacement level quarterbacking, which I think even if Patrick is out there, whatever plan, offensive game plan, run focus was, do that anyway, and anything great Patrick gives you is a bonus to ease him back into it. But again, you guys know the last few years, I've said on the show many times, my kind of change in life philosophy, the Cormac McCarthy quote, never underestimate the awful luck your bad luck saved you from. Try to find the silver lining even in awful things. And if there is any silver lining to Patrick suffering that injury, I do think it may be forced a closer autopsy of what actually was going on infrastructure-wise with the Chiefs' scheme, with the offense, with some things that needed to be improved. And I trust the organization that they will do that while Patrick's rehabbing. That's my take.
I mean, I agree with you. That's a great optimistic way to look at it. To me, they would have had to be doing that anyway. What were they, 6-8 when he got hurt? They lost that game.
They were. They were 6-6 after 6-7 when he got hurt. Yeah, and was en route to 6-8.
They lost the game, so 6-8. But yeah, I just think they would have been looking at that anyway, and they should. It'd be great if he's back for week 1. I think he should obviously not come back before he's 100%. But if he gets back for week 1, that's good for the Chiefs because it's probably going to take him a few weeks, if not several weeks, to kind of get back to his old self. And speaking of that, I want him back to his old self. I want him back healthy, but I want him back to the Patrick Mahomes that made us think he's the best we've ever seen. And the last 3 years, he's going to have a new offensive coordinator possibly too. Matt Nagy gets a job. These are the last 3 seasons, though. And, Nick, I've said it before, and I doubt this will happen, but I would at least look – to me, he should be on their list, Eric Bieniemy. For offensive coordinator.
I think he is on the list.
Yeah, because he's a running back coach right now in Chicago. He's helped that run game. And Mahomes' last MVP year without Tyreek was with Bieniemy. Bieniemy left, and that's where those last 3 seasons' stats individually have plummeted. Now, they did win a Super Bowl and got to another one without Bieniemy. But for Patrick individually, it seems like Bieniemy was great for him, and I would love to see that reunion.
Most to gain and most to lose, which may or may not feature Michael Jordan. That's next on FS1.
He was on it last week. He's not on it this week.
Y'all don't act as well. They don't act as well as me. We all know it's coming. It's obvious.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. Finding a home is like dating. You're not just looking for a place to live, you're searching for the one. That's where Realtor.com comes in. Like any good matchmaker, they know exactly where to look. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, you could find your perfect match today. Ranch style with a pool, barn dominium with an in-law suite? Realtor.com's got 'em. Modern craftsman with a big yard and a treehouse out back? Realtor.com will have you saying, yep, that's the one. No more swiping. It's time to start finding. Download the Realtor.com app today, cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
Hey, check out our YouTube page. It's going great. And then the podcast is top 10 in the entire sports world.
But
Gianna clarified.
It's also starting to be a little nervous time for Giannis' job. Giannis' job. Under 16 million. Super Bowl in
I'm going to crush this next segment.
22 days.
We're gonna.
We got to get to $1 billion before the Super Bowl.
We'll be there.
Has our pace increased or declined?
It's time now for a segment, bro.
Even.
We're done with the break.
Oh, y'all can lollygag for all you want. Let me do it, and it's a problem.
I have to do the very important open.
Go ahead.
We're 24 hours away from the start of the divisional round, a time where legacies are launched, lifted, or lowered. To find out who has the most to gain, well, it's time for a segment called Nick's Most to Gain.
All right, I don't love the picture of me, but
I said that, Dustin.
Dusty, he wants the highlights. I keep telling you.
I'm not saying I
once you
love
had the highlights, everything else is like.
I'm saying I don't like that it has a picture of me. I think it should, whatever, it doesn't matter. Work in progress.
Highlights.
Greg, this is my favorite weekend of the NFL year. Divisional round weekend. 4 games, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. Usually you have at least 6 of the best 8 teams. This year we might just stone have the best 8 teams. Sorry, Jags. Certainly 8 of the 9. Number 8 most to gain. Kyle Shanahan. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Marv Levy never won.
Game?
Marv Levy never won a Super Bowl. Bud Grant never won a Super Bowl. Don Coryell never won a Super Bowl. if we are talking about the best coaches of his era, if he continues on this track with this team, it's as good of a single-season coaching job as I've seen. I understand he hasn't coached long enough to actually be a Hall of Famer, but I think he is a Hall of Fame caliber coach.
Wow.
This would be
We were out of the gate firing.
shocking victory, as undermanned as they are against Seattle. Kyle Shanahan. Number 7, guy we just talked about, Patrick Mahomes. He can't lose in this Bills-Broncos game. Broncos lose. It's like, oh, Chiefs out of the playoffs, AFC West, with a grand total of 0 playoff wins. Hope you guys enjoyed this one Chiefs gap year. You guys did nothing with it. Broncos win. Oh, Josh, sorry. That sucks. I was rooting for you, man. Really was. I was really, really hoping this would be the year you break through. Number 6, D'Amico. He gets the credit. They win this because they don't have a singular defensive player. Like those 4 defenses I talked about before. 2000 Ravens, Ray Lewis. 02 Bucks, multiple Hall of Famers that we think about in Lynch and Brooks and Rondé and Sapp. 13 Seahawks, Legion of Boom. 15 Broncos, Von Miller in that master class. It wasn't DeMarcus Ware's on that team too. This team has a bunch of great players. Daniil Hunter, underrated, made 110 sacks. Will Anderson. But I feel like he's the face of it. When you think of this Texans defense, what I think of is D'Amico flexing on the sideline after they force another 3 and out. And 3 years, everything you were saying about CJ, 3 years in the divisional round, that many playoff appearances, all applies to D'Amico. But nobody thinks D'Amico's going in the wrong direction like we worry CJ is. Number 5, Josh Allen. Gets one step closer. Again, he was number 8 last week because it is a compliment to not have him that high because he's won this round twice before. But what he knows, unlike the 2 other times he has won divisional round games before, he doesn't have Patrick waiting for him in the AFC Championship game if he wins this round. Number 4, Sam Darnold, KW. You like 14 wins and 4,000 yards. How do you feel about 15 wins and 4,000 yards?
My attention.
And does dispel the idea of every big game you just can't rely on him.
Do you think if he plays great in this game, like I almost think he needs to win the Super Bowl?
No, well,
before stage shot?
I think he would have to win the Super Bowl for it to be removed entirely. But just playing great in this game would make it to where you don't expect him to play poorly in every big game because it's like, no, look at this game. And now the kids. Number 3, second-year quarterback Bo Nix. I mean, I guess. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's fair is fair. I got to put him on there, but whatever. Number 2, Drake Maye. Rarefied air. This would be top 2 MVP in year 2, along with a couple playoff wins, conference championship game appearance at the very least. There wouldn't be a lot of debates to me about is he in that, at the very least, top 5 quarterback discussion, if not firmly in there. And then number 1, Caleb Williams. I understand that the way Caleb has won these games for some has been, controversial is the wrong word, but unsustainable is, I think, fair. But for most, it's like, well, that's the hardest thing to do in the NFL. Be at your best when everyone knows you have to pass in the waning moments of these games. If you can do that, then of course the other stuff you will continue to improve on. Number 1 pick, pedigree, in the conference championship game in year 2, when the guy who went number 2 got to the conference championship game in year 1, kind of put some of that Jaden Caleb stuff to bed, at least for now, and really starts the Caleb-Drake Maye conversation. He has the most to gain. That is the most to gain for the divisional round list. Greg Jennings.
Look, interesting list. Obviously, the top 3 are what they are. I really love the Kyle Shanahan being on this list.
Thank you.
That's a great list. Look, I tried to think of a guy that I knew you wouldn't even consider to put on that list. And I got one.
Oh, okay.
We talked to his teammate. Well, you guys talked to his teammate. I wasn't invited to the conversation. Deion Dawkins. early this season, Keon Coleman. Oh, man, he's going to be a guy.
Keon
Look out
Coleman.
for Keon Coleman.
Oh.
Great take.
Keon Coleman is going to be fantastic this year. Deion Dawkins.
I went to
superstar.
a baseball card show and we got a Keon Coleman rookie card. Yeah, like
You bought all the way into it.
Unbelievable.
And he had us all believing in year 2, can he make that leap? We've seen a lot of young receivers do that. Now we saw a
that.
season where he was a healthy scratch on 4 different occasions for this Bills team. You're going into a divisional round where you are obliterated at the receiver position. Keon Coleman, you have to dress. You dressed last week. You dressing this week. You must show up. Gabe Davis went down last week. Now it's like, okay, who do we have? Where can we find something? Well, they got to throw the ball. Brandon Cooks they brought on, and he's been good when he's been involved. Where are you? Are you going to show up? The reason why I say he has the most to gain, because I truly believe his career is on the line. This is not a first-round
Holy
pick.
cow.
This is not a guy where you're going to be looking at him and saying, you know what, we can do something with that. He's been a healthy scratch. That means he wasn't. We're not dressing you to be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Just go stand over there.
Yeah, but in his defense, when they made him a healthy scratch, it really devastated him. We did see how he, you know what I mean? He was just a wreck.
He had to do something. I'm not going to knock him for dancing. He was feeling the vibes. If you're going to be on the sideline, at least don't be pouting and all the things Brew would think otherwise. But Keon Coleman, he has the most to gain because I truly believe he can turn his career around with a performance, knowing in this moment he's going to be heavily relied upon. If they are able to throw the ball, you think he's going to be the guy that they try to get a mismatch or matchup situation with. He can make plays in this moment. Josh needs somebody.
Flip side is he might have seen that receiver depth chart this week and been like, I really don't have to go to meetings now. Like they gotta play me. Go ahead.
One catch, one target, 36 yards.
It was a big play. He made a big play down the sideline.
I'm not adding anybody. I'm switching 2 guys. And I'm going to switch, Wild, you'll like this, Drake and Caleb. If they both win, I'm going to say Drake gains more than Caleb. Now, Caleb is more spectacular, more charismatic. Like Caleb would have more commercials and, than Drake. I think he's more marketable and everything with his personality. But Drake has clearly been the better quarterback this season and might win an MVP. It sounds like he's going to be the runner-up, but might win the MVP. If they both get to the AFC or the conference championship, I would think the guy that had the regular season that was better, that might win the MVP, at the very least finish second, would gain more than Caleb, especially even if Caleb is great all 4 quarters. I'm not saying he doesn't gain a lot, but I just think if Drake wins this game, it is a serious chance you just put him in the top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? If Caleb wins it, I'm still not ready to put him in the top 5, particularly if he keeps winning in the fashion that he has with not playing that well early on and then coming on late. It would be great and dynamic and awesome, but I want some steady play as well.
So I should have probably included this in why I had Caleb number 1. I don't think there is a way for the Bears to win this game without him playing the best game of his career. I think they are going to have to score in the at least 30s, if not more. I think he's going to have to be excellent, and I think the general public would look at beating Matt Stafford and the Rams with more as a more impressive accomplishment.
But beating that Houston defense.
Well, so and the flip side is, I do think there's a scenario where Drake has a mediocre statistical game and the Patriots win anyway.
We could win 10-7.
Right. That's and so that I just don't think there are ways where the Pats win where it's not about Drake Maye. I don't think there's a way for the Bears to win where it's not about Caleb. I would agree with you. If they both win and they are both excellent, what Drake's done is more impressive. Being excellent against that Texans defense is more impressive than against
All right, flip side, you can't have any rainbows without some rain. The most to lose list.
The highlights are in there, bro.
The highlights look great.
Number 5, a little 2-parter. Just talked about him. Drake and KW.
Oh.
So there is a scenario where on Monday, There are 3 quarterbacks from Drake Maye's draft class that have played in conference championship games or are about to, and he's not one of them. Jaden's already done it. Bo Nix could do it. Caleb could do it. KW fell into the old Danny Parkins pitfall of guaranteeing a win. And that we've been, all of us, Greg will fly back in from Minnesota with us to destroy that stupid door of destiny if this Patriots
Greg
team
doesn't hate the door of destiny.
I don't hate the door.
Greg,
Really?
The door of destiny is
Really?
growing on Greg.
Giannis, even get a super cut of Greg's facial expression every time he's been cut off trying to give a point when those Trumpeteers come out. That's true. It has made him
just the way the segment
actually
goes.
angry.
You
Number
set me up every
4,
time.
Ben Johnson. I think it is smart that he has put the attention on himself. Nobody's talking about any of his players. They're talking about him, scrutiny on him for using the F word and for the quick handshake. But it is added pressure. And the one thing, KW, that we didn't talk about yesterday
I know.
was the brother?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike LaFleur.
So KW made the point, like, hey, the head coach of the Rams is super tight with the head coach of the Packers, Matt LaFleur. But the guy who's even tighter than McVay with LaFleur is his brother, who's the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. Here is where I worry for Ben Johnson. If the Rams are in control, I could see them really trying to run up the score.
Yes.
Like in a way you normally wouldn't do in a playoff game. Like
silly stuff.
Exactly right.
Almost like what Ben Johnson did against the Cowboys.
Correct.
Like, I'm going to do some silly
Yeah,
stuff.
back when you loved Ben Johnson.
I like
you loved
that. I
that.
used to
Number
love that.
3, Sean Payton. All right, so he would fall to 1-4 in the playoffs since the NFC Championship game with the famous non-called DPI against the 2018 Rams. This would be the 4th straight time he has had a 13 or 14 win team and not reached a Super Bowl. This is a guy who has written a ton of checks. Right now, they haven't bounced, but they haven't cashed yet either. The regular season and the number 1 seed, the only way to undercut that is to lose your very first playoff game against the team that beat you in the playoffs last year. Sean Payton. Number 2, I'm as surprised as anybody. Wow. So this weekend, it's not just Drake Maye now. Drake Maye, also a number 3 pick out of the University of North Carolina, who in year 2 for him, could potentially be in a conference championship game, while 23-year-old Michael Jordan in year 2, his team won 30 games, they got swept. But also,
he was hurt.
Also, is there a possibility that kids in Chicago, like who my sports idol is? Caleb Williams. I know Granddad tells me about this guy named Michael Jordan. I watched him do the same interview 7 different weeks in a row on NBC. I don't think he's that interesting.
Unfortunately, no longer.
Here's the thing.
I know.
Those kids that might say Caleb's their favorite.
Yeah.
What kind of shoes they
Well,
wear?
listen, I don't disagree with you that they might feel like Michael Jordan is the all-time best. He's better than the A6 guys at marketing. I'm just telling you, most lose. Number 1, and I'm sorry, bro, Sam Darnold. I don't think it's going to happen. But if Darnold lays an egg, he is on, I don't even know what list he goes to, of just guys who, it's not that you don't trust them, it's that what's the thing I say sometimes? An unacceptable opinion. To say I believe this guy's going to come through. He has the most to lose this weekend, and it doesn't help that his oblique is hurt. I didn't like that. I didn't like that Drew Lock was getting practice reps. I didn't like that one bit. That's the most to lose from the divisional round.
That's a good, like, Darnold, and I don't know that they could move on, but you got to believe if he played badly in that building, they're like, we need a better quarterback.
Yeah.
We got everything else. Well, again, I don't know that
in those
you could
moments,
move
because you
on,
know you
but-
can win in the regular season. I think the Vikings are a testament to that as well. But in the moments where you need your quarterback to be at his best, he hasn't.
He just can't melt down.
He can't.
That's what I'm saying.
He needs to. He can't play badly.
Correct.
He can be okay. They can win with him being okay.
But if he
can
he
be
has
bad.
a melt,
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. If you're hearing me, I'm going to assume you're awake. And if you aren't, because while you're snoozing, someone else might be finding your dream home. That's where Realtor.com comes in. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, that's a lot of chances to find the place you've been dreaming of. Whether you're searching for a 2-story mid-century with a pool or a little extra space with a spa-inspired bathroom, Realtor.com can help you find it today. So quit hitting that snooze button. Realtor.com isn't sleeping on finding your dream home, and neither should you. Download the Realtor.com app today, 'cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
Rams in Chicago. Dusty texted us an update on the real field this morning. I thought it was news from the show. Nope. Just wanted to tell us all it's down to minus 21 on the real field.
I can't talk to you in the makeup room. What? Dusty can't text you important news? Well, you know what, man?
Usually texts at 7:30 in the morning are like breaking news. He's like, guys, the real field's down to minus 21. Caleb has provided the Bears with some late game magic, and guess what? The Rams are open to giving up leads. Games this season where you fell behind after leading by 14 or more. The Rams have done it 3 times. Eagles, Seahawks, and last week against Carolina. The 7 other remaining teams have just done it twice.
Wow.
It's fascinating, right?
That's a great job, Josh.
Josh, you crushed that,
That's a
dude.
Josh original. No other show in America has
No
that
other
stat
show
today.
in the world.
Great job, Josh.
If it gets later, you're taking Stafford or Caleb.
They're both very good in the clutch. I mean, obviously Caleb had the 6 game-winning drives this year, but Stafford is tied for the most all time in a season with 8 back in Detroit.
Yep.
So not just with the Rams, he did it with Detroit. So they're both clutch. But one thing, Dusty pushed me to this. One thing came to mind to lead me into which guys I would take. Dusty!
Don't say real field.
The video.
No.
Clutch game, NFC Championship a few years ago. Right in the socket, baby. And I don't even know if I should say the name because I don't want the guy to feel like I'm picking on him.
You've been doing it for 4 years.
I'm just saying that could have. It was 17-14.
There was also
San
like 9
Fran,
minutes
obviously
left,
you see it. Yes, but the Rams went down, got a field goal, tied the game, and eventually won 2017. That could have ended it. That could have sealed it. So now I could point to Caleb against
made a
Green Bay.
couple mistakes
too.
in his career.
But I'm gonna go with Caleb just because of the magic. The magic is right now. They're both clutch, but right now, Caleb. If it gets to that moment, I'm gonna be believing in Caleb.
As a guy who just watched this last week and I was rooting for the team on the short end of the stick, yeah, I'm going with Caleb too.
Wow.
Let me explain to you some. Matthew Stafford, and I don't think you're not knocking Matt. Well, you are actually.
No.
Matthew Stafford, you are.
He's clutch.
We know who he is, and is he clutch? Absolutely. But at this stage in his career, he can get it done and get it done one way. That's just completely being surgical and dissecting you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Caleb,
It's true.
you don't know what you're going to get, but you know you're getting something. It might be that he's going to be surgical. It might be, oh, shoot, he got outside the pocket. What is he going to do? Throw it on the run, 4th and 8, boom, dot. Or you know what? You get out. Now you're in space. If you're a linebacker or you're a defender, you're like, do I take Caleb? Do I stay with the defender? I don't know what to do. Why? Because his legs. He can beat you with his legs too. Like there's not another player, and I will continue to double down on this, remaining, that is more scarier than Caleb. There's one. Josh Allen, Caleb Williams. Yeah. Period. Because of what he can do and what he's proven to do time and time again. When I watch his games, I'm gonna be honest. Like last week, I felt like, oh shoot.
Yeah, you believe they were going to come drive down and win. But what I would say is, I felt the exact same way at the end of Panthers-Rams when Stafford had the ball. I was like, he's going to – so this is a cop-out answer because my answer is if it came down to this, if we were in a scenario where a team is down by less than a touchdown and they have the ball, I believe that team's going to win this game. So if there's 3 minutes left and the Rams get the ball down 4, I would be live betting the Rams. And if 3 minutes left and the Bears get the ball, I'd be live betting the Bears. But of all the quarterbacks in football, if you're asking me, like, who do I trust, in the fourth quarter of a playoff game to expand it a little bit larger, my list would be Patrick 1, Stafford 2, Allen 3. I think Matt Stafford in the playoffs, you can show it real quick, Dust, since he's been a Ram, he's been so good. It's not just the win-loss record's been good. 300 yards per game. This is an 8-game sample. 18 touchdowns, 4 picks, a 107 rating, 8 yards per attempt. He has been so awesome. And you put 4.2 picks if you want, because the Jaquaski chart was. But he has been just so sensational in the postseason once he got with McVay that my answer would be Matt Stafford, as much as I like Caleb.
Are the Patriots on upset alert? We discuss next on First Things First.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off site-wide, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions apply.
Live from New York, a show that's excited for a divisional round weekend. 2 days of games. Family thought there was only games on Sunday. Wanted to book me for Saturday.
Tell your family there's no ball.
They wanted to book you?
I'm not going to do that.
What?
I tell my wife, you should know ball.
Your wife literally makes documentaries about the NFL. Libby, if you're watching, no ball.
There's going to be problems. There's going to be severe problems in the show and second hour, First Things First. Today, why Purdy is in Mahomesian territory.
Oh, wow. God.
With a
That's not even me.
Meanwhile, are the Patriots on upset alert? Perhaps. But right now, we're headed to Denver. Bills, Broncos, Bo versus Josh in a matchup of last year's game where the Broncos lost 31-7. If Bo Nix pulls this off, Nick, and you had him in the basement of the AFC West during Predictions Week a long time ago.
That was a bad pick. That one I was wrong about.
Now they are on the
Raiders
verge,
were, in fact, not better than the Broncos.
of hosting the Arrowhead Invitational.
That's awesome.
They would be. Have signs and everything. Welcome to the Arrowhead Invitational.
It used to be called
at
that.
Mile High.
Yeah.
No more. But
Would you be willing to admit that you were wrong about Bo Nix?
I mean, I was obviously wrong on the low end. Like, I was obviously wrong that the Broncos were not going to be a playoff team. I was obviously wrong that if you would have asked me, this didn't come up, but if someone had said, could you ever see Bo Nix being the quarterback for the #1 seed, I would have said absolutely not. I was clearly wrong about those things, whether they were said or not. If they win this game, does it guarantee that I am wrong holistically, that Bo Nix is not forget franchise NFL quarterback, but not even going to end up being a long-term Broncos quarterback? No, I don't think that will prove that at all. I don't.
Oh, wow. So you don't think he's there long term?
I think the jury is still out over whether or not Bo Nix is above average. I believe that in my bones. And I think that what they have done this year is wildly impressive, and he has played his best in the waning moments, in the fourth quarter of a lot of these games, and that matters. And I thought the Packer game was very impressive, and I said it in real time that I thought that was the best game of his career. But what's also true is this. This is Bo Nix, where he was this year statistically with league ranks. He was not above average. And to give some context for that, those numbers are almost identical to a different first-round pick who has made the playoffs once, who none of us think is definitively the team's long-term answer. If you put his numbers this year side by side with Bryce this year, the completion percentage is identical. The yards per attempt is identical. The touchdown-interception ratio, Bo has him barely, and the passer rating is identical. Now, Bo throws way more passes, so he has more yards, per game.
Didn't he lead the league? In
attempts. Yeah, not in yards, but in attempts he might have. I'm not sold that Bryce Young is the guy in Carolina, and I'm not sold that Bo Nix is like stamped franchise quarterback. And if they win this game, again, if they win this game because Bo Nix is like, watch me cook, then I will, of course, have to adjust my opinion. I don't think that's the path to them winning it, so I could see them winning this game and me still being skeptical of them. People say that's unfair. I'm just trying to be honest about where I feel about the player.
I do think that's fair if they win 18-15 or something like that, and he's solid, or just even they've won games with him not playing well.
Or they run all over Buffalo. They run for 250.
So I think if he goes out and plays great all 4 quarters, or for the most part, and just has a fantastic game and kind of leads them to victory, maybe in a shootout, which you guys don't think is possible, then I do think you would have to change. But I get what you're saying, because if they lose this game, Greg, 24 or 20-17 or something, and just couldn't score, I think just the same thing we said about Darnold in Seattle. Obviously, Sean Payton likes Bo Nix, but you would have to wonder, we got this phenomenal defense, but we can't score, and our quarterback is not consistent. And so I think those questions would be out there. Obviously, he's still on his rookie scale and he'd have time, but that would become a question mark for them if he doesn't play that well.
In that scenario, I think the questions would be warranted. I would argue, watching Bo Nix and seeing what he has at his disposal, he doesn't have the weapons. And again, you have the luxury of watching a guy in New England that, in coach's words, is a force multiplier. Not every player is that. Sure. Immediately. Now, at the quarterback position, at some point, you kind of have to become that. In Bo Nix in year 2, with Cortland Sutton being the only true, number one primary guy, everybody else, Marvin Mims and Brian, and then Evan Ingram at tight end, they're guys. They're not.
That's true.
In what we would be expecting, you look at Caleb and what he has. You look at even Jaden last year and what he had, at least in Scary Terry and other guys. Bo Nix does not have that.
Go ahead, sir.
I would wait to see what they can get in terms of skill guys around him, because I believe he can still. He's shown me enough to where I'm not just.
I would not be saying that. What?
He's won more games than any quarterback in NFL history in his first 2 years.
Yeah, that doesn't move me.
Then, if the point's to win games, he's like, well, I've won the most.
Well, but again,
it's certainly he's the number 1 seed. So, and if he loses to Josh Allen,
but you're totally. You know who's won the more games in the last 2 years? Sam Darnold, who's also the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And if he plays terribly,
Sam Darnold has
6 years of bad football.
No.
This guy is super clutch when.
But I don't think anybody. I don't even think Nick's saying get rid of him or anything like that. I'm just saying you still wonder, is he our guy?
And even if they win, and I just want to say one thing in response to before he gets upset alert. You are totally right. He does not have the weapons. The flip side to that argument is, if you were to say, hey, we're not going to have great receivers. We know that. Build me in a lab the perfect situation to drop a young quarterback. You'd be like, all right, I want an offensive mastermind head coach play caller, the best offensive line in football, and a great defense. Check, check, check. That is something he does versus Jaden, Caleb, Drake. Nobody has been set up with those things, from his draft class.
But Caleb's been set up.
Caleb now.
Coach,
No. Caleb this year as a coach.
Offensive line.
And they.
The
Right. I'm talking about from
game.
the word go for him, because KW brought up the wins over 2 years. Drake dealt with a bad coach. Caleb dealt with a bad coach. They both dealt with bad offensive lines the rookie year. Jaden's a weird one because he got hurt this season.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of young quarterbacks would say, I'll trade out star receivers for the best offensive line in football and a wizard play caller. And so I don't think he's been in a bad situation. I'm not saying you were saying that. And so.
Time now for a segment so hot, the real feel is at 110. It's upset alert. We reset the scores for the regular season because Coach and Greg just ran away with it.
They're running away with it again.
And it's just happening again at Carolina, the close game against the Rams. Greg, ball's in your court. Can you do it again?
Man, this is the closest you've been.
Since week 1.
Sorry, Wilds.
That's okay. You got to pick one.
I'm going Texans over the Pats. And
that's a good one, Greg.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Look, so a lot has been made about C.J. Stroud and what he wasn't in that Pittsburgh game, and rightfully so. He went into that game completely rattled, and you would have thought third time, you've been there before. How is it that you are showing signs of, panic right out the gate? I don't think that happens again. With Nico Collins being down, understanding what you must be, we know what the defense is. We know that the defense is going to give you A+ effort, and you put it on your tag to repeatedly punch you
in the face.
They're going to do that. If C.J. Stroud can be good with Dalton Schultz, who had a career year, his best year as a Texan, with Jaden Higgins, who we know is going to have to play and be a force in this game because Nico is going to be out, Nico Collins is going to be out. You have weapons, Jalen Noel. You have pieces in a Christian Kirk hat. Welcome back to the National Football League, Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
He had a great showing last week. You have pieces. You run. Your key to success, we're going to run the ball, then we're going to go up top.
Sure, I'll take that.
And if he can execute the game plan and they're able to run the ball, this defense isn't going to give up a lot. I just feel like going into this game, in this situation, C.J. Stroud has to be one with the mentality of, I can be better than Drake. I can be great. However, I don't have to be great because I got these guys. So remember the big picture and don't try to make it a one-on-one, mano-y-mano type of a deal. But you got to have that mentality of, I'm the best quarterback on the field. Now, we can disagree all we want, but we know he's coming with the best support of both quarterbacks in terms of what he has on the defensive side to compete and to combat that other quarterback. So I like the Houston Texans in this game.
A lot of good strategy.
I'm with you on that.
I'm rooting for you.
Of course you are.
I don't know if you actually believe that, Greg.
I actually do believe that.
Okay.
I absolutely do believe that.
Okay.
And I didn't even speak about the Texans defense because that's obviously what we all believe in.
Defense is great. But I think you respect Christian Gonzalez, and
I do.
So if Nico's out and Christian Gonzalez takes Christian Kirk,
this isn't how upset alert
tough.
works.
I just don't think he believes.
We've never done this for upset alert.
He's like, I guarantee to win, and you come out and just disagree with me right away, right out the bat.
Check out the behind the scenes. I'd be like, that was good. Like wrestling. I was like, that was great.
All right, I got one for you. A big game hunting, baby. The Niners get it done in Seattle. All right, now, Greg.
That doesn't even make sense.
You're trying to win.
It does. You mean that doesn't make sense? Brock proves he's more than a Purdy face.
I mean, he's a pretty like.
That's on dust. You know, everything I'm putting on dust.
It's nice.
Yeah, go.
I think it's fine. Wild is just upset because you picked against his
talking
faces.
about obliques, bro.
Well, no. I just think, Greg, wasn't it always nice when you played, hopefully I'm right about this, with house money? The Niners are playing with house money. Nobody expects them to win. 7 points at this stage of the playoffs, like nobody expects them to win against a team they did beat once, and they lost to 13-3 a couple of weeks ago. And Brock Purdy, Nick even said the other day, if he throws a couple picks, he's trying to win a game they shouldn't win. Like, they have nothing to lose.
That's good.
They also have Trent Williams, who didn't play in the game they lost in Week 18. He's back. So is Ricky Pearsall. And Ricky, I know he's not Justin Jefferson, but Ricky Pearsall is their guy that can stretch the floor or stretch the field. He, in the first game of the season against Seattle, he was huge. Had over 100 yards receiving, 4 catches, over 100 yards. He's back. He did not play in that Week 18 game either. There are question marks about Darnold. And Kyle Shanahan, third time around, remember, he struggled against Vic Fangio's defense, right? Couldn't do much against that. Last week, finally solved it. I think that is what you're going to see. I'm not saying they're going to put on a ton of points, but I think they'll do enough to win this.
Inspired by Fred Warner?
Well, yes.
Waiting
I
for
mean,
him to
I
come
don't
back?
expect him to play.
Sam Darnold
but
with
just
the
him
oblique?
trying to get back. Yes,
Miles,
the Darnold
Do you
oblique.
think Brew actually believes that?
He loves Purdy.
No, I'm just calling it like I see it.
Wilds
I'll give you one
doesn't believe in anything anti-Patriot.
I'll give you one that I barely believe in. This line moved up to 4.5. Puxatani Philip football here to tell you.
You can't pick the Bears.
He is.
I'm going to leave.
He's picking the Bears.
You can't pick the Bears, bro.
Why? I'm watching the game. Very impressive. Just because I don't like Ben Johnson's demeanor and foul mouth in the locker room, I thought it was unprofessional and kind of content.
Content.
I thought it was content.
As opposed to the videos of Vrabel hugging every player every weekend. That's
wow.
That's security footage. That they have no idea.
That's great from you.
Yeah.
Bears straight up over the Rams.
You can't have this.
Straight up over the Rams.
You're not allowed
Here's
to have
why.
this pick.
First of all, home dogs. That hasn't worked out too well in the divisional round. Let's see. Ravens, Bills, lost. Falcons, Eagles, lost. Panthers, 49ers won. Saints, lost. I'm telling you.
These aren't the home dogs that lost. These are the favorite on the road that lost.
Yeah.
You said it weird.
Sorry, I said it. I said it backwards. The Rams are favored. The opponents on the road at home. Guys, trying to do that whole. This is what happens. You don't really believe it.
Right.
You see the logos?
You don't believe.
You see the logos?
We see the logos.
Okay, that team was favored. All right. See the opponent? That team was at home. That was in their building. Chicago and Buffalo and Philadelphia. Okay, next up. This Rams defense, very gettable. We talked 28 or more points allowed after Thanksgiving. What the heck is going on here?
That's a
Cowboys, Cardinals, Titans, Jets. And in that Sam Darnold Stafford game, was that a standalone game? When was that?
That wasn't
Saturday
Monday?
night.
That was Saturday.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Saturday night.
The shootout.
Rams-
The shootout. No, that was Thursday.
A Thursday night game. So the whole world's watching
Danny
that.
said it was going to be the best Thursday night game ever. He was right.
It was
38-37.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, man, Seattle can really move the ball on you guys. And they've been bad. Also, Carolina moved the ball pretty easily.
Twice.
At home. Finally, Caleb's pretty good. Pretty good when it gets tight. First 3 quarters, not excellent. Sometimes into the fourth quarter, not excellent. But in the fourth quarter overtime, he's really good. I do think it's on the board that a guy who plays great late can just play good the whole game. And I know I'm viewed as the Caleb skeptic.
Because you are.
Just because, you know what? I like normal stuff, man. I just like normal stuff. I just normal stuff. I don't need Harold Miner type stuff. Hey, I win the dunk contest.
Miner?
Yeah, I don't want you to win the dunk. You win the dunk contest. Man, I just do normal stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Why did you pull Harold Miner?
Baby Jordan.
I know who he is.
Spectacular stuff. But I just want normal. I want a Kyle Lowry game. You know what I'm saying? Get you down, a little mid-range jumper, win a championship. It's just Kyle Lowry, man. Great Raptor.
I covered Harold Miner. With the Cavs. Yep.
I liked Harold Miner a lot.
Why are we
covering
talking
the
about
team.
Harold Miner?
Because he was spectacular.
Playground legend.
Yeah, guys, I
Brew covered him.
I know who he was. Good pick, Wild.
Have a Kyle Lowry.
Since you asked
He
Greg,
does not believe it.
doesn't believe it.
He does not believe it.
I do not. The Rams defense.
Okay, we get all that. Do you believe your pick? Do you really believe?
I do think a boring game is within
Hey,
Yes or no?
Yes,
Do
of
you
course
really
I believe it.
the
I
Bears
are going to win.
He doesn't
Yes,
believe
of
in the
course
Bears.
I
Really?
do.
Why does it say this
What?
is just an alert?
Because he does not believe.
Why does it
I
say
think
that?
the Bears are going to win.
Then why
Yes.
does it say this is just an alert?
I don't know why to say it's not more than a Purdy face. Because I don't do puns.
Can I see
Time
your
now
notes?
for Nick's picks.
Yeah, it is time.
I don't know what I did.
All right, listen. Not a good wild card weekend for me. I'd been red hot last month.
Ouch. That's
2-4. It's no good, but it's not. It's not fine, to be honest. Now, I don't have to explain it. Everybody saw the games. I got the Bears right. I got the Niners right. Did I make a little money this weekend because I also had the Niners money line? I did. Did I cost America money because the lock after going 6-1? I locked up plus 3.5.
Why'd you do that?
Because I thought you guys were going to win by 3. Because I foolishly thought Justin Herbert was going to actually have a pulse. I was wrong. It was dumb.
You knew that.
Those are bad picks. I thought he'd have a pulse. I thought Drake might struggle a bit. You guys wouldn't score 17 points. I thought whatever. It doesn't matter. 4-0 though this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's go.
4-0.
Wrong team favored. Forget all the gobbledygook Wild said about road favorite dog. Blah blah blah. Bills are the better team. Also, Curtis Samuel back. Ed Oliver.
Oh, I like that.
Back. So now
like Ed Oliver.
this beleaguered Bills receivers room has the top 3 receivers from before the year. Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, again, he hasn't had a great year, but he was supposed to be good. And of course, the number 1 guy, Khalil Shakir. Ed Oliver to help the run defense. I always say I owe the audience honesty. And audience, I have been dishonest with you at times this year when I've been like, begrudgingly, I respect the Broncos. I don't. I think they're a fraudulent 1 seed. I don't care if the 14 wins. I don't care. I don't believe in them. I think Josh Allen's about to dog walk them. Bills plus 1.5. Too many points, bro. I agree with you. Niners plus 7. I don't think the Niners are going to win. But I also think that they are going to be able to keep it close. And that Mike McDonald and Clint Kubiak and the Seahawks, if they get a lead, are going to be to the right of Dick Cheney and conservatism in the game calling because they are not going to want Sam Darnold to blow it. The rest edge is massive. All of it. I think this can be a good game. I don't think the Niners win, but 7 points is too many with Kyle Shanahan, and I think Purdy is playing well. I'll take the Niners plus 7. Next. I am rooting to miss this. I am rooting to lose in embarrassing fashion. I'm rooting for there to be a big fat X over this when we do Nick's picks
You know
next
what's
week.
up. Savvy.
But the Pats are at home. They have the far better quarterback. The other team is missing its best weapon. I'm only laying 3 points. Is there a chance this Texans defense is an all-time defense? There is.
Yeah.
If it's not, I don't trust the Texans offense enough to where I think that they can win this game. And if I don't think they can win, I'm not getting more than 3. So I just have to swallow the 3 points and root against. I won't be betting this game because I might overnight a Texans jersey to wear for this game. I'm going to be rooting against the Patriots so bad because of this guy. But the right pick is Patriots minus 3. And then last one. This one hurts my heart. I don't think this is close.
Wow.
I think the Rams are going to score 40 points.
I'm the Caleb guy.
I think Caleb could have a start to finish excellent game, and the Bears get blown out. I think what we saw the Packers offense able to do in the first half against the Bears defense, I think the Rams are going to do it the whole game. I think Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are going to be running open. I think Stafford could have 5 touchdown passes. This feels to me like 42-28.
Oof.
So I will take the Rams minus 4.5. So we've got the Bills and Niners catching points. The Patriots and Rams laying points. That's a 4-0 weekend, America.
Can I predict the lock?
Yeah.
Against my upset alert, I'm going to say Rams-Bears is your lock of the week.
Lock is the Bills.
Oh, wow.
The lock is
really
the Bills.
dislikes Bo Nix.
Yeah.
All the guy does is win games.
At least you're being honest.
Just being honest. I felt bad. Lying.
Can Stroud outplay Drake next?
Like this guy.
AI is incredible. It can teach you how to fry an egg and even write a poem, pirate style. Yarr! But it knows nothing about your work. Slackbot is different. It doesn't just know the facts. It knows your schedule. It can turn a brainstorm into a brief. And it doesn't need to be taught. Because Slackbot isn't just another AI, it's AI that knows your work as well as you do. Visit slack.com/meet Slackbot to learn more.
Texans, Patriots. This one is Sunday at 3 o'clock. It's CJ versus Drake. We're going to focus on the quarterbacks. Both QBs had trouble holding on to the ball last week, so I'm just dropping it sometimes. Brew, we'll start with you because you're very confident. What are the chances that CJ Stroud outplays Drake Maye?
Look, Drake is obviously the better quarterback at this point, but I think there's a chance that CJ could outplay him. Obviously, Drake is facing the tougher defense. CJ's in his 6th playoff game, 3rd time straight to the divisional round. Mm-hmm. I think that team is really intent, obviously they all are, but on getting over the hump finally. And CJ he hasn't been great in the playoffs. His numbers have been better maybe than he's played, but he hasn't. His game against the Ravens his rookie year, he was objectively bad, had like a low passer rating, but didn't throw any interceptions in that game. Just didn't complete a lot of passes and things like that. Last week, he had the fumbleitis and fumbled 5 times, but he had a short memory, and I liked that even in that game where he had some bad moments, he still hung in there and he made some good throws. And this pass to Christian Kirk, I believe we have it. This is after several of those fumbles, if not all of them, and he makes a critical throw to Christian Kirk down the sideline. That went for 46 yards. So he still threw for 250. Like I said, whilst the Patriots defense is really good, if you're going to get them, it could be through the pass. And so I just think that CJ Stroud, I don't believe he's going to be nearly as bad as he was last week. And I think he could definitely outplay Drake Maye in this game.
Yeah, I'll add to that because I believe there's a chance that he can outplay Drake simply because of how good, obviously, what Bruce said, the Texans defense is. But I think we don't give this Texans offensive skill group enough credit. And because of the poor quarterback play, whether it's been Davis Mills or I don't want to say poor. The mediocre.
They've had
inconsistent quarterback play. But they have an array of guys that can do different things and pose potential problems. The question is can CJ do what you just shown on that throw? And he can. Can New England disrupt him? If they can be disruptive and cause him to be frantic, which they've shown. They don't have
the great pass rush.
They don't have a great pass rush. Obviously, they've shown that they can get after you.
Good against the Chargers, but it's hard to judge.
But with CJ having that game, again, I think without Nico being out there, you can't be rattled. You can't walk into this game feeling like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? No, you got to be calm. You got to be stoic. You're the one that supposedly has the experience. You have a good tight end. Use him. You have some young rookies that can make plays and rely on the running game. And remember, you got that defense. That's the biggest thing. The defense that he's going up against, not as stiff. Not gonna,
but pretty good. I mean,
they are pretty good.
Good defense.
It's tricky because we played a bunch of cupcakes on offense, and then Justin Herbert couldn't move the ball at all because of the offensive line. So again, I don't know. Are we actually the 4th best defense?
They look
in
great.
The league? Yeah, but everybody looks pretty good against the Chargers. But I just want to temper and give some credence to Patriots defense skeptics. The problem is, flatly, CJ Stroud is missing his best skill player, which means Christian Kirk, who played great, is now going to be on. Christian Gonzalez has him, so he's basically out of the game.
Can I say something about that? And I don't want to. I don't.
You say it like you feel sorry.
I do.
No, you do not.
But I like CJ, and it feels like every year we get here, and he's either missing, like offensive line goes down, no Nico Collins. So I don't feel like we're getting the best of him.
I also don't know that we're going to be
receiving core is a little better than people think outside of Nico.
I also don't know that you're going to be getting the best of Christian Gonzalez. And I also think when I have seen this happen to the Bills a year ago, the guy who suffers a concussion in the playoffs and just amazingly clears concussion protocol just in time for the game very often is not either there at the end of the game or himself throughout it. So I think you're playing. I'm
debating whether he had a.
Say it again.
I don't want to have a concussion debate. Yeah. I'm not sure.
You think they were already precautionary and keeping
right after the game in the tunnel? He's like, I'm fine. Not one of these like, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah. No, listen.
It's weird to discuss it.
I think that if this happens, it's not going to be because CJ plays some great game. It's going to be because the Texans defense makes Drake Maye look like the way they made Rodgers look. Which, again, I'm not predicting, obviously, but I think it's going to be more. This is oddly a Texans defense question to me. Because the Texans defense is more likely to be the deciding factor than C.J. Stroud.
The one, I like to twist stats. You know what my dad always told me growing up? Every day we'd sit down, we'd have eggs, we'd have cereal, sit down.
Eat your food?
Yeah, he said, eat your food. He said, never fight a man with cauliflower ear. And I always thought about that. I always think about that. Whenever I go to a bar and I'm getting into it with a guy, I look and I say, that guy has cauliflower ear. I say, let me get you a Miller Lite,
How does that apply here?
Oh, Drake took so many sacks. Drake took 52 sacks. Man, I'm used to getting sacked.
Yeah, but
Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be sacked. It was shocking he got hit. Oh, my gosh, I'm on the ground. I think sacks all day. I'm getting hit. 52 sacks. Texans had the fourth most sacks. Drake took the fourth most. So
I don't know that that's a good thing.
So you don't mind him getting sacked in this game?
Guy with cauliflower ear, used to getting hit.
You don't mind your quarterback getting hit?
I don't want him to get hit.
Oh.
But it's not Aaron Rodgers.
No, but he also is coming off a game where in 2 of those sacks he dropped the ball.
But he was oddly trying to throw the ball.
I know. He's
so comfortable getting hit.
Listen, I don't, never mind. It's just any bad thing, there are not many bad Drake Maye things. But somehow all of the bad Drake Maye things are actually good Drake Maye things.
No, he
gets sacked a lot, so now he's used to it. He's only fumbling the ball because he's trying to do too much.
He was.
They blew a 21-point lead, and now they actually feel better. So I just can't.
You tell me, we're favored at home. About to go to the AFC Championship.
Buddy,
it seems like it's working out for me. Drake, one of 3 sophomore quarterbacks trying to get to the conference championship. Jaden's already been there. Caleb trying to get past the Rams to make it. Can Caleb regain the top quarterback in his draft class title belt with a win on Sunday?
I think it's possible. It would take a very specific turn of events, which would be Jaden's obviously not playing this weekend, so he's static. Drake would have to play poorly. He would have to look like he looked in the first half against the Chargers for the whole game. And Caleb would have to look like he looked in the Niner game, except they win, where just up and down the field, where they scored 38 points. And I know some people would say that even that wouldn't be enough. And this is where you might get upset.
Sure, I'll take it.
There is a massive discrepancy between Caleb and Drake in accuracy. Drake was the most accurate quarterback in the league. Caleb was the least accurate quarterback in the league as far as completion percentage goes. That gulf is enormous. And I think the stats back it up, the only place there's a gap, and I'm not saying that doesn't matter, and I'll show it to you. This year, Drake is slightly better than him in those categories. But it's closer than you think. In passing yards, he's got him beat by 350 over the course of the year. Same number of picks, he's got 3 more touchdowns. Rushing yards, he's got 100 more. Rushing touchdowns, 4 more. So again, and sacks, which is I don't know if sacks are good now. I don't think they are.
Good against the Texans.
Caleb sacked half the time. And the reason I include sacks in there is that offsets a lot of the small yardage difference. So I do think that if one guy ends up playing great has an amazing round 1 comeback, and then round 2 plays great, and the other guy has what I would call a shaky round 1 where the story of that game was what the other team's offense didn't do, and then is shaky in round 2, it certainly opens the door to it. At least it will for me. I
think as you've said before, those numbers, their regular season performance was not as close as those numbers. And sure. I think you would agree with that. And obviously the playoff game you threw in there helped Caleb because he threw for over 300 yards. And so I think, look, first of all, I got to say this. Some people would hold out room for Jaden.
Yeah.
Because Jaden led them to the conference championship game last year, was fantastic throughout the season. You were first on this. I do start to wonder, like, how healthy is he going to be able to just stay healthy like a normal quarterback? But assuming he does, he's certainly in this conversation.
No doubt.
Outside of that, I think at best it's like, because Drake was so much better in the regular season and doesn't have nearly the weapons that Caleb has. They both got great offensive coordinators.
Not according to KW. KW thinks Diggs is the best receiver on either team.
I think Chicago has the best receiving core. I think they got clearly a better run game. And I just think that Drake, I'm not going to dismiss him being either the MVP or second in the MVP race because of a couple of playoff games. I think Caleb would have to do more.
I actually think he regains it. And you've kind of alluded to this before, draft placement of where you were drafted and how you were viewed entering into the draft and what the expectations were surrounding you. Caleb, the expectations were so high, we were disappointed last year, and he didn't have a terrible season. He just had a season where it was like, man, I thought he was going to be so much better.
That was my fault.
And
I'll wear that one.
And now you see a young man that's starting to develop, has a future with a head coach and coordinator that you feel like it's going to do nothing but blossom. And he feels like, and again, little recency bias because of how he beat the Packers and what he continues to look like in these moments. But he just feels like there's so much more room and potential there with growth.
No doubt.
Drake Maye has been almost like just stoically perfect. I shouldn't say perfect, but just steady all season long. And it's like, can he get better? Absolutely.
If Bo Nix beats Josh Allen.
No, because Bo Nix has not had the caliber of regular season either of these guys had. Bo Nix does not have a one great playoff game like Caleb has.
This is his first time he hasn't.
No, he played in the playoffs. No,
I know, but now he's getting a shot this year. He doesn't get rewarded. He doesn't get penalized for making the playoffs.
No. I'm not penalizing him, but I don't think. No, it might be. I don't think Bo Nix is as good as the guys who went 1, 2, 3.
No, we look at those teams. Even Jaden, they're the reasons why we talk about those teams and why those teams are winning.
Yeah, I mean I don't think Bo Nix is in the conversation at the moment.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire wrong. So then I'm doing IT, and when I go to plug the servers in, they become sentient, and they won't let us access our network unless we forward their chain emails and memes to more and more and more people, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant finds and invites best fit candidates to apply, so you can discover talent you may have missed. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
49ers, Seahawks tomorrow at 7:30 on Fox. CMC and Brock Purdy up against Sam Darnold. Brock Purdy not pictured.
That's not our call.
But if he wins on Saturday, most conference championship appearances in their first 4 years, Patrick Mahomes has 3, and Purdy will have 3. Who has the most to gain from a win here, Purdy or Sam Darnold?
This is a tough one because I think both guys have a ton to gain. And I think for Purdy, a lot of people do believe in him. I think him winning this game, I think Nick might come around and fully give him his credit. But I think for most people that believe in him to whatever degree, they think he's a top 10-ish quarterback or better or whatever, fluid. But I think for those people that already believe he's a good quarterback, kind of the only thing he can do to improve that opinion is win a Super Bowl.
I think getting back to another Super Bowl.
It would be impressive. It would maybe solidify. I think, I say 2 things. Next year to come back and just put up lights out numbers, like fantastic numbers and all of that, be in the MVP conversation, or win a Super Bowl. because he's been to a Super Bowl. He's been good in the playoffs. He's been in the MVP conversation a couple years ago. And so I just think that's like to totally erase that Mr. Irrelevant that still haunts him to some degree. He has to win a Super Bowl. So I'm going to say Darnold for this game because even though he's been really good the last 2 regular seasons, he was a bust, a straight bust for 6 years. For a guy who was number 3 in the draft, for 6 years he was viewed as a bust. And I still think some of that residue is on him in terms of the way people view him. We're sitting here saying if he doesn't play well in this game.
How he played the playoffs last year.
Yeah, if he doesn't play well in this game, they may feel like in that building they have their quarterback. And so I think if he comes out and plays well in this game and they win it, then he could maybe fully dispel the bust. Like that is no longer an issue with him. Don't even think about that with him. He's a legitimately good quarterback.
I say Purdy. I say Purdy because last year he was in this situation with a lot of injuries around him, and we were very critical of him. Some saying, well, it's because of the guys, and he played well, he didn't play well. He's in the same situation, and he's been excellent. He's been executing, and he has his team in this position. So I think guys like you, who your voice carries, and you have influence.
I know.
You're going to start saying, I kind of like that guy.
Purdy?
Yeah.
I told you guys, I'm open to the possibility.
No, you're going to start saying,
you've been open
like
before,
that
though.
Listen, I like moxie. Wilds calls recency bias. I call it playoff weight. Like, I weigh your performance in these playoff games more than your performance over 2 months of the regular season at times. That's a little more flippant, but I just think these playoff games have real weight. However, I have to say, I'm insulted by the question. What do we do in the B block today, KW? We do it every week during the playoffs.
Most of the games.
Most of the
Sorry,
games.
I forgot.
I made a whole list, America.
Really
I have it printed off here. You know who was number 4 on it? Sam Darnold. You know who wasn't on it? Brock Purdy. I answered this question an hour and a half ago. More to gain. I don't know. Most to gain. Sam Darnold, number 4. Brock Purdy, not listed. So it's like, hey, Nick, make a whole list, and later in the show we'll ask the question about it. What the hell? Why I put all the work in?
Live from New York. It's Friday. It's first things first overtime today. Is this a sneaky legacy game for Josh Allen as he goes into Denver? Meanwhile, does Caleb have the Rams on upset alert? I know at least one person here believes in them. Let's see if Danny Parkins does as well. And finally, can Drake not only win, but can Drake just blow out the Texans? That's where that's called the anchoring method. Alongside Chris Broussard.
It's not the anchoring method.
Yes, it is.
That is not what that is.
That's how anchoring works.
That is not how anchoring works.
Yes, it is. Danny Parkins, Nick Drake. I'll tell you what. Here's what I do. I say, Drake Maye is scored. I could see like 45-10. 45-7. And then you guys are like 45-7. Well, you're an idiot. Maybe 28-14.
You're trying to use my bachelor party in Thailand.
It's called
theory.
the anchoring.
That's not what anchoring.
We don't need to get into your personal life.
What's the bachelor party in Thailand?
You tell your. I didn't have bachelor party, but it's you say, hey, listen, me and my buddies are gonna go to a bachelor party in Thailand. Your fiance is like, no, you're not. That's outrageous. And you're like, fine, we'll go to Vegas. And you only ever want to go to Vegas. But that's still not anchoring. But
that is the anchor. What's anchoring?
Anchoring is.
That is the anchoring.
The cheapest steak on the menu is $60. So the nice steak is $80, but it's really only $20 because you're anchored at $60. It's not the anchoring method.
For sports television, I did the exact Right now, we're talking about the Bears. Start in the NFC where the Rams are headed into a frigid Chicago. Danny, the real feel is down to minus 21. Not the regular temp, the real feel.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Caleb has been
wise decision
when he gets outside the pocket, but Jared Verse is ready. Take a listen.
We don't rush scared. We rush, very alive. Everybody knows their jobs, though. My job is to just, kind of get the quarterback off the spot, and everybody else will be able to pick him up. That's just the way we rush. We don't ever rush scared. Don't ever do that, because if you do that, he's a quarterback at the end of the day. He's a Heisman winner. He'll just stand back there all day and dial this up.
Danny, do you still believe the Bears can win this game?
Of course they can.
Thank you. That's what I've been
Is
saying.
We don't.
What are you talking about?
I can't speak for the entire city of Chicago and all Bears fans, but allow me to. We don't want your support.
What?
Wow.
Because you don't actually support.
You're doing it for a game, for the upset alert points, for the spread. You don't like Caleb.
There's 4 games.
Can I tell you something?
You don't like Caleb.
It's not even for the upset alert points. It's a hedge against wrongness Monday.
No.
It's so if the Bears win, he doesn't have to eat it because he has not believed in Caleb.
It
is
could
a
not
home
have
underdog.
come across with less genuine.
They have not fared well.
I didn't buy it for a second. Of course I believe it. You think I'm going to doubt this team and abandon them now?
You do not sound confident.
You better have some
body
data.
language,
I got data.
all that. I mean, I'm giving you time, but you don't look confident in the least bit.
Did I look confident?
No.
I did though, right?
You didn't sound confident.
Not really.
Drew, why would I doubt this coach, this quarterback, the cold? You want me to do the 40th anniversary of the Super Bowl Shuffle that came out this week? The first game they played after the Super Bowl Shuffle? The Rams shut them out in the NFC Championship game, no big deal. But why am I supposed to fear the Rams?
The question gave you some leeway. And I guess are we waiting until he makes his picks? Because the question was, can they beat the Rams? Okay, yeah, they can.
Oh.
Okay.
Will
they?
Yes.
You know, okay, I'm going to believe your words. And your body language, not that I'm an expert,
Body language.
but you
All right,
just
well,
don't
here's the thing.
see,
Can I tell
maybe
you?
it's that little smirk on your face.
Yeah,
He was
smirk.
smirking through. I was the whole show. The whole story all of a sudden this week is like, oh man, Ben Johnson. He's really ruffled some feathers. How soft is everybody? It's absurd. Oh my God, he's upset the Sean McVay coaching tree. So Zach Taylor's not going to send him a Christmas card. So he can't play Wordle with Kevin O'Connell. Let me tell you about Ben Johnson against Sean McVay. Forget his bush or his tree or whatever it is. Undefeated. Ben Johnson's played Sean McVay twice. Not a problem. Now he was the offensive coordinator of the Lions, but no one here loves the Lions either.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson is his own maniacal, crazy person, offensive brilliance, play caller, and all that. So yeah, of course I believe, and then I can talk negatively about the Rams too, but Ben Johnson's not afraid.
So I agree Ben Johnson's not afraid. I do think the coaching tree stuff might be overrated. The fact that Matt LaFleur's brother is the offensive coordinator for the Rams. Here's the only way I think that actually impacts it, and it's in a way you won't care about anyway. If this game is out of hand, I could see McVay and LaFleur trying to do a little Ben Johnson stuff to Ben Johnson, but who cares? A playoff loss is a playoff loss no matter what it is. The reason I don't believe the Bears will win this game, I would be... This, to me, would be the biggest upset of the weekend.
Bigger than San Francisco?
Yes, because I think if San Francisco, we know how San Francisco wins. Darnold goes straight pumpkin. Like that's they lose. Like that is the most obvious path. The reason this to me. And I am not beloved in Chicago like Danny, but Chicago doesn't dislike me. I've been a Caleb guy. I think they're coming around on Jackson Blade personally.
He has universal approval.
I think that what we saw Jordan Love in the first half doing to the Bears defense, Matt Stafford and Puka and Devontae Adams, Devontae now knocked the rust off in the last game. They are going to be able to do that throughout the game. Whatever concerns, I know Ben Johnson tried to project going for a 4th and 4 on their own 32 in the first half or maybe it was a 4th and 2, whatever it was as utmost confidence. It was, I don't know if we can stop these guys, so we got to go get points. And credit to Dennis Allen and that Bears defense for what they did in the second half. Sure. Yeah. But I think the Rams are going to score at least 35. And so even if Caleb is awesome, I don't think the Rams defense is all of a sudden awful. I know they haven't, the numbers are not good over the last couple months, but it's the same personnel where the numbers were awesome the first 2 months. It's not like they lost to Micah Parsons and that's why they have fallen off. I just don't think that the Bears are going to be able to slow down the Rams at all. So that's why I don't think they're going to win, Brew.
Yeah, I think the Bears could win. I won't be like totally shocked if they do, but yeah, I'm going with the Rams too. I just think a lot of what Nick said, Danny, I don't know how they're going to stop that Rams offense. Now, maybe the weather will be a factor. I don't think it will for Stafford. He played in that division for most of his career. He's been in Chicago, been in Green Bay, and last year he was great in that snow game. So I think he'll be fine. I think the receivers will as well. Obviously, Devontae Adams played in Green Bay. So I just think it's going to – and look, here's where I would worry if I'm the Rams over the course of the game. If the Rams get out to a 2-touchdown lead, which I could see happening.
Bears got it right where they want them.
And but seriously, if the Bears start walking them down in the fourth quarter, kind of like they've been doing all these, then I would start to worry because I think it gets mental for both teams in that case because the Bears will feel really good about their chances, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams inside are thinking, man, what is this happening to us now?
Listen, I'm glad you guys, the question wasn't like guarantee it, because I'm not guaranteeing it because I saw, a little bit of a coward, but I saw what all of you saw. The Bears defense is not good. Jordan Love torched them for a half. I am a realist enough about the Bears defense that I looked this up. 505 could be in jeopardy. The record for most passing yards in a playoff game. Oh, Brady in the Super Bowl and that loss to the Eagles.
Not in the cold.
Can I tell you something about the cold?
I don't think Stafford's going to be impacted by it. The cold, I think, could impact the Rams' special teams, which has been awful. They fired their special teams coach after Week 16. They've had blocked kicks in 3 of their 5 losses.
Special teams been bad for them.
They had a blocked punt last week in the win against Carolina. So that's where I see the weather coming in.
Listen, I think because of the Bears' tendency to come back, it might be force McVay out of some of his worst tendencies, which is get a lead, get conservative, lose the lead. He might feel like we just have to keep scoring points. As far as the weather, I don't, if there's not going to be precipitation and if the wind isn't going to be crazy, Kyron Williams went to Notre Dame, Blake Corum went to Michigan, Devontae Adams played at Green Bay, Matt Stafford played for a decade in Detroit and road games, Green Bay and Chicago, and Puka went to BYU. These guys have played in all of the Rams skill position guys are used to playing in the cold, even though the Rams don't play in the cold. So I'm not worried about the weather playing a big factor in this game personally.
The Rams will give up a lead, though.
And their defense is not very good.
They'll give it up.
The defense we have seen the defense be excellent. That's the difference. The Bears defense, I know, but we know the Bears defense.
I would say it's better than the Bears defense.
And so I just, to me, I don't know. I have more trust in the Rams defense than Bears defense.
Josh Allen looking to get back to the AFC Championship game. Broncos standing in his way. Here's Davis White on his QB.
Joshua Patrick Allen, big dog of the week. Dog of the week, nobody can compare to this dude, man. He does it all. You can't say too much about him. It's what he's doing, when he's doing it, and the times he's doing it, when we need him the most, next to none. We watching greatness.
All right, so that's very complimentary, but what happens if Josh Allen loses, Danny?
He gets a new coach?
No way. Really?
Really?
That's amazing.
We would obviously ask the question.
I'm interested in that.
I think it's on the board.
If Josh Allen has a great playoff game, which if it's a playoff game, Josh Allen almost exclusively plays great in playoff games, so I assume he will, and that means they lose a game because Josh Allen scores 31 or 30 plus, and they lose because Sean McDermott's defense lets them down, and we say, man, Josh Allen did it again, but let down by this defense. You don't think we're asking a question about Sean McDermott on Monday?
That's a very the scenario you painted is very different than just the generic loss.
But that's the way that they lose. Josh Allen, I know you will point to instances where he did not get it done, but man, he is.
They haven't lost a playoff. He has 5 career playoff losses. 1, they've scored 30. So the 13 seconds game. You're describing they lost when they lost to the Bengals in the divisional round. They scored 10.
Yep.
They scored 24 in the loss to the Chiefs 2 years ago. They scored 28 or 27 in the, you know, so I guess I'm not shocked by if they lose to Bo Nix 35-32. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed at the defensive head coach. But that's the only scenario I would see where we are saying McDermott's on the hot seat. Like McDermott could be fired next week.
Their defense has been the weak point of the team. He's a defensive head coach. And if we talked about them, the Ravens underachieving playoff expectations, and at some point it was time to go to try to salvage some of Lamar's prime, I don't know why we would not apply the same logic to Josh Allen's prime if he gets let down by his defensive head coach.
I would not be as definitive as I was on Harbaugh, like they need to get rid of Harbaugh, but I think you make a lot of sense. I mean, a few years ago I was saying I think McDermott should be on the hot seat if they can't get over the hump. And if they lose this, Nick, I think in the grand scheme, like we and people will point to if Josh loses this game years from now, like he couldn't get it done when Mahomes and Lamar and Burrow were out of the playoffs. This was his best chance and they didn't do it. But I think in the moment, if he plays well, obviously I don't think you can kill him. Like if he goes Superman mode, like you said, and then they lose a shootout, you can't kill him. If he loses the game, he is up and down, as you've said famously. And if he just goes out and has a pedestrian game, which I can't see happening, but if he does, I guess you can rip him. But I think McDermott's going to be the first one on the firing line.
Wow.
Listen, I think people are going to blame McDermott before they blame Josh.
Well, I think there's a lot on this line reputationally for Josh Allen in this game.
Well, I think the missed opportunity is what's on the line.
Yeah, but I don't know that his reputation takes a huge hit.
But it's
you can say, okay, he's not Mahomes. We feel that way anyway.
I honestly think his reputation, he's not quite bulletproof, but it's close. Like it takes a lot for his reputation to take a hit. Mm-hmm. But this is a great opportunity for his reputation to get the only boost it can get. Like no other quarterback in league history has won 6 playoff games and not made a Super Bowl. He has now won 8 playoff games. Like this moment right now is important for him. The McDermott's, it's very odd to me. When it comes to Josh Allen having not made a Super Bowl, we're like, man, what are you going to do? You can't get past Mahomes. Sean McDermott's defense has been excellent in the postseason, except for when they have played Patrick Mahomes. Like that, to me, McDermott has as big of his defense was good in that Jags game. They confused Trevor. His defense was good in the Ravens game when they beat them. Like the
Cincinnati loss.
The Cincinnati loss, Josh was awful.
Josh was terrible.
And they lost 27-10. Like that was bad on both sides of it. They have a playoff win 17-3 that over the Ravens years ago. That kind of offsets the playoff loss 36-33 to the Chiefs. Like
I just would be very surprised if this is a low
time for a new voice. I mean, after so many years of not getting it done, again, okay, Mahomes was in the way. He's not this year. And the coach still couldn't get it done.
It would just really surprise me if this was like a low-scoring, grinded-out game. Like I don't think Buffalo's defense is very good, and Denver's at home; they're rested.
Wow. So you expect Denver to put up a ton of points?
I think Denver's going to score points. Absolutely.
So
I think Denver scores points.
Listen, I think the Bills are going to win, and I think the Bills are going to impose their will on Denver. If we are here talking about a Bills loss, I think it is far more likely they lose a game that is in the teens than a game where it's high 20s, low 30s. Like I think that the more likely path for a Denver victory is this defense gets to the level it was the first couple months of the year and does to Josh similarly to what Houston did to Josh a month or so ago than it is Bo Nix, and Denver score 30 points. If they score 30 and Josh plays great and they lose, I could be with you. Otherwise, I would be stunned.
Saturday at 4:30, Bills in Denver. Right now, a good bounce back from Mr. Parkins.
Was it?
Ending to the season, but Parkins Picks bounce back in a major way, and he's ready to keep his hot streak going. Yeah. It's time now for a divisional round episode of Parkins Picks. I'm excited for this one.
You should be, Wilds, because everyone knew the regular season was an aberration. 4-2. Got right back in there. Got a lead. Solid. You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's all gamblers know that. You're playing the sample size game. Comfortably back up above 500 for the season. 66%. Right what the chain says.
66%.
Yeah, went 4-2.
Oh, for the one weekend.
I'm sorry. Do you need me to check the math?
That's good.
66 and 2/3%. Wilds, hold on. Just checking your math.
Got it.
I get the same. But more importantly, why is the crowd back out here, Nick? Because, I mean,
this is not how it's done.
Well, you won the regular season. Congratulations. I'm winning in the
There's
playoffs.
no
and now I'm back winning overall to be the FTF Picks King. I'm sorry. Is that not something that's
lost.
possible?
It's not. You lost. It's over.
Who has more wins? Who has more wins? Wilds? Is 31 or 30 higher?
The only
I'm
issue
curious.
I have is with the graphic, the overall should be larger. And like you said, playoffs is really what matters.
Yeah, you said that you add extra emphasis for legacy and all that on
Caleb
playoffs.
could be like have the 22nd
Yeah,
best
the
passer
weight
rate,
of
but
the
if he
playoffs.
wins
Weight of the playoffs.
Thank you.
Can I
He's
tell you
better
guys
than
something?
the number
Thank you very
one
much.
guy.
Thank
Before
you.
you make your
Yeah,
dumb
that's a
picks,
good
can I
point.
tell you guys something?
Correct.
While that is actually 100% correct for the players, I would argue for this competition, playoffs actually matter far less because during the regular season, we look at the whole league and we're like, here are our favorite picks. For the playoffs, we just have to pick every single game. And that's why the championship is determined in the regular season, like the Premier League.
The crown has the potential to live on. To the picks. We're picking every game, if you don't mind.
Really good.
The Bills.
This one,
plus
yes, correct.
1.5. You and I are aligned. And here's the thing. Is it going to be high scoring? Is it going to be low scoring? Are the Bills going to give up a ton on the ground? I don't really know. Yeah. I can't see the future.
Sweden, Texas.
But it doesn't matter.
I can't see the future.
Because Josh Allen, I can't see the future. Josh Allen is great in every scenario for the Bills this year. Eventually, though, so it doesn't matter. If they allow 30 or more points, Josh Allen is 4-1. 19 touchdowns, 4 turnovers. If they allow over 150 yards on the ground, he's 6-2, 23 touchdowns against 7 picks. If their running back gets completely abandoned and Denver's defense dominates, still has a winning record. That was the scenario last week against Jacksonville. Josh Allen will figure out a way to win. Bills plus 1.5. To the next game, Seattle -7 against San Francisco. We're opposite here. It's just too much. It's too much for San Francisco to be as injured as they are against a team as healthy as they are in Seattle that is rested, coming off a bye when they just had to go all the way to Philadelphia and then go back to Seattle on a short week. Seattle against playoff teams, they have been the best team in football by far across the board. If they're playing a great team, they are dominant. They hold opponents to playoff opponents to 17 points per game, even better than the Houston Texans. Wilds game. I'm on the side of the New England Patriots -3 against Houston. And here's the thing. This was the game that I had the hardest time with this week, and I think the formula is actually pretty similar for both. It's a race to 20. Both of these teams, if they score above 20 points, are basically unbeaten. Texans undefeated, like we've been talking about. Patriots, though, also 14-1, most wins this season. Their defense a little underrated relative to the Texans. I just trust Drake Maye to get to 20 over CJ Stroud, so I'll lay the 3 with Houston. And then the Chicago Bears. I know it's going to come as a shock to you. Thrilled that I got back to 4.5 today. I can talk to you about the Rams defense, allowing 28 a game. We've been talking about that since Thanksgiving. Their defense has not been good. I could talk to you about the cold. I could talk to you about the crowd. I could talk to you about magic. But honestly, Nick, you can make some of the rules for the regulation. But on the OT,
what is this?
This video lives.
What is
Sorry,
this?
I'm not betting against him.
Oh,
I'm not.
Great video.
It's a great video. You think I'm betting against that guy?
I like that.
Salt Bay.
Yeah, a little salt
But
bay
with
with
cheese,
cheese,
but with
little
cheese.
cheese bay.
I like that.
Yeah, that video lives. Caleb's. I cannot wait to see how he celebrates on the Sunday Night Football post game this week against the Rams. 4-0. What do you think?
2-2.
2-2 at best.
You're going to get Bills and Pats right, Seahawks.
Oh,
and
the ones
Bears
that we were
wrong.
aligned on.
Exactly.
I think this seems like 4-0 to me. This seems like 4-0. I think you did it.
You and I are back.
I think you did it.
You and I are back.
Coming up next on First Things First, Overtime, Greg Jennings and Willie Colon join the show to talk about how confident the 49ers should be. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game. Go Patriots. We shouldn't editorialize the teasers.
What are you doing?
We shouldn't editorialize the teasers.
Welcome back to the OT. We got Greg Jennings and Willie Colon hanging out. San Francisco on the road. They're 7-point underdogs. They're banged up. They're going to Seattle. And as per their reputation, it's going to be loud. So Kyle Shanahan was asked how quarterback Brock Purdy will handle the noise and the elements. Take a listen.
I think the big thing is Brock doesn't get rattled. I mean, you can be as loud as you want. They're still probably not going to hear you there, especially if you're in the gun. And then we know they'll be that much louder this week. But I think it's nothing really rattles Brock. He stays the same. As you guys gotten to know Brock in all the situations, I don't think when you guys talk to him, whether he's had a good game, a bad game, I don't think he ever seems much different. He's always Brock.
Greg, how confident should the Niners be in Purdy here?
Look, they should be very confident. Everything that Kyle Shanahan is absolutely spot on. When we looked at Brock Purdy last year and he was without a lot of his skill guys, we felt like, man, was it Brock Purdy's fault that they didn't get over the hump? Could he be, in coaches' terms, a force multiplier? He wasn't last year. This year has been different. They've been without a lot of guys in the lineup, and he's been steady. He's been really good. He's been one of those guys that's been in and out of the lineup. And when he's been available, he's been money good. So I really like the 49ers in this situation because it's a familiar opponent. I'm not picking them to win, but you should have a lot of confidence if you're Brock Purdy, a team that you've seen twice. You have a head coach and offensive mind that understands, man, when I see a defense a couple times, give me a third crack at them, we're going to have some wrinkles. We just have to execute when the opportunities present themselves. Playing against a sound defense, a stout defense, they're stingy. So he has his work cut out for him, but they should be really confident.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's like my dad's minivan. It's not flashy, a little dinged up, but it's going to get you home, right? And you understand he also lives rent-free in the 12th man's head, being 4-0 in Seattle, so he has that with him also. But they get their muscle back. They get Trent Williams back this game, which was huge because in Week 18 they gave up 3 sacks in that game, and I talked about that last hit he took in that game. I thought they broke him in half. So with that, they also showed up the protection because their center now is calling the protection. And now you're talking about Juan Jennings being one of his main targets on third down. With everything around him, I expect him to be that guy. I expect him to be inefficient. Now, to Greg's point, I have more faith in the Seattle Seahawks defense. If they don't allow him to cook in the middle of the field, man, it's going to be a long day for Brock. But he's been able to do it thus far.
Yeah, this would be a wildly impressive win.
It would be.
Because we've seen him in a Super Bowl. We've seen him put up massive numbers. In terms of just, they are banged up. They are injured. Right. They lose Kittle last week. Seattle is rested. Seattle's at home. I've talked with you guys this week. I talked about it with you after that game in Week 18. That Week 18 game is one of my favorite games in the NFL all season. Like all NFL games are physical. It jumped off the screen. And I had never seen the Niners with Kyle Shanahan look like that. Because it was literally the worst offensive game that San Francisco had played in that Week 18 game. Like, look at what Purdy has been this year since he came back from injury. That's the column on the right.
Right.
They were the best offense in football.
Yeah.
Now, that's not a huge sample post Week 11, and then I'm taking out one game, so it's not a huge sample, but it's not 2 games. Like, they were the best offense in football. But in that game against Seattle, it's like, it's the worst game Christian McCaffrey's had as a Niner.
Yeah.
It's the fewest yards they've had since Kyle Shanahan's been there. It's tied for the fewest points. So confidence in Purdy is fine, but confidence in Purdy in this spot against this team, I don't know. I saw it 2 weeks ago, and it looked ugly.
So one thing to note, when you know there's a possible chance of you playing a team for the 3rd time in the postseason, you go into that last game, I get a lot was on the line.
Yeah, the one seed.
A lot was on the line.
Yeah.
However, you pretty much have a feeling, man, we might have to see this team in the playoffs at some point.
You think they held something back in that game?
You can't show everything.
With the 1 seed on the line?
You can't show everything.
But look what Greg is saying. Even with this game, we're going to the playoffs. You feel like we have everything we need to hopefully beat the Eagles. You do beat the Eagles, but now you're saying we know who Seattle is. We got a little left over in the tank.
Yeah.
Valid, we don't have George Kittle, but we know schematically we can match up with anybody. So Greg's right in that.
I'm not saying there's no wrinkles, but I guess I would personally be surprised if you deliberately held something back in that spot.
Well, you see ball players do it all the time. I remember Ray Lewis and Ed Reed would talk about they would play certain coverages knowing they would play a playoff team later down the road. So when they did play them in that playoff game, they had a little something for them in that big game.
So you expect, how do you expect a high-scoring game?
No.
Okay, well,
on what side, though?
No, I'm saying through the prism of San Francisco.
No.
I would be very surprised if this game looked drastically different than the Week 18. I'm not saying they're going to be held to under 200 yards of total offense. Like, that's an outlier in the 8 years that Shanahan's been there. But I'd be very surprised if this game was played into the high 20s.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the same. Like, they had a wrinkle for Philly. We saw the toss sweep to the jet pass with Juwan Jennings throwing the ball to McCaffrey. We saw the gadget plays. He's going to have something, having seen this team twice, having seen this defense twice. You know you don't have a lot of time if you're Purdy. You got to create. You got to move the pocket. He's going to have something in the run game, in the pass game, a couple wrinkles that we have not seen that we're going to be looking at that TV screen this weekend saying, that was a great play.
What we're ultimately talking about, the Niners are going to be aggressive. That's what I took from the Eagles game. They realized, like, this is all or nothing. I don't think they held anything back from that standpoint because I felt, you talk about the gadget plays, you talk about Purdy using his legs more, you talk about him seeing the whole field. Now, I didn't like him throwing the pick with 8 minutes left in the game. And then, Shanahan talked about, well, he looked unwavering because he was scared, right? Sometimes when you're scared on the sideline, you can't show it because that ripples throughout the offense. I like Purdy in the big moments. He just has to play faster, and I think, we'll see what happens in Seattle.
His clock is definitely going to be sped up in this game.
What about you've gotten everything you can out of a real banged-up roster? Like Seattle is very healthy.
There's a lot of you're saying playing with house money?
Well, the Niners were in line for the 1 seed in Week 18. Mm-hmm. They have maybe the best offensive coach in football not named Andy Reid. They have beaten this team this year. There's a reason they're a touchdown underdog. They are undermanned in this spot, just on like a straight health issue. It's hard for me to imagine that this isn't the end of the road for the Niners in this spot.
It's hard for me it would have been hard for any of us to imagine that they would even be here.
Yeah, I picked Philly last week, so my analysis this week is pretty simple.
I'm not even talking about last week. I'm saying to get to the postseason with how banged up they are. No Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner, no
Well, Mac Jones was the X factor. He carried them midway through.
But even still, there were so many injuries. We just didn't.
It's been a remarkable performance to get this far.
Absolutely has
and it'll be one of the shocking results of the season if they're able to advance to Championship Sunday. We're talking impact players on every game coming up on the OT. Time now for most impactful. We're picking the key player or person of each matchup for the divisional round. We will go in order of the games. Seem to make sense.
Yeah.
What do we got first?
Bills at Broncos.
Guys, I'm going to pick Josh Allen.
Of course you are.
I know. Talking about chalky analysis. Listen, in his last 6 playoff games, the game against Jacksonville and the 2 previous season's playoff runs, he has 16 touchdowns, no turnovers, and he has 2 losses to Patrick Mahomes by 6 total points. Josh Allen's pretty good. And we talk about Superman and putting on his cape and this unique one-of-one football talent. Bo Nix is not Patrick Mahomes. I think Josh Allen is going to figure out a way to get this done against Denver, whose defense is very good, but I do think a little overrated, especially how they finished the year. I think Josh Allen has a big game, Greg.
If Josh Allen finds a way to get it done, it would be because this guy that I'm picking didn't do his job. And that's Riley Moss. Riley Moss, he's going to be the unsung hero. When you look at this defense in their pass defense, who are you not going to attack? You're not going at Pat Surtain. You're not going at the nickelback Jaquan, I forget his last name, McMillan, I believe it is. You're going at Riley Moss. Look at these numbers, and they are staggering. And he's a good defender, but he is going to be penalized. Pass defenses, 19, tied for most. Penalties, 10, tied for most. Penalty yards, you get the point. He's going to be the bugaboo that Josh Allen is going to identify and say, we're going at this guy. I believe he steps up and he makes heck of plays in this game and not be what we just saw on our screen.
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos, man, and I'm leaning on the Broncos' run game. These 2 running backs are legit. They have an opportunity to make the game small for Bo Nix if they lean on the run game. I got a graphic right here to show you to jump off the tape. Listen, it comes down to this Broncos running game playing like they did in the first half of the season, not the second half. You're talking about Jaleel McLaughlin and R.J. Harvey, man. If they lean on this run game, and they allow this game to really allow these two backs to be a stabilizer for Bo Nix, who at times looks unhinged, especially with pressure coming down the hatch. I like this run game, man, especially when they get in that pony package grade with those two running backs in the backfield. That's going to make the Bills declare coverage, man. So look at these two-headed horses, man. They can get after it.
I'm all for going deep on games, guys. Riley Moss, RJ Harvey.
He's going to show up a lot.
Right.
You're going to see his name called.
Josh Allen. What's the next game?
49ers at Seahawks, Saturday on Fox.
Mike Macdonald is my answer here. He was hired for a very specific reason because Seattle said, okay, we have to figure out how we can beat Kyle Shanahan a couple times a year and Sean McVay a couple of times a year. And do you think that the Baltimore Ravens wish that they would have moved on from John Harbaugh earlier and promoted Mike Macdonald? This guy has been remarkable. He's been incredible, consistently holding all of these high caliber opponents and those excellent coaches and their teams below their season averages whenever they play them. I've talked about it, that Week 18 game where San Francisco scored 3 points and had 170-something yards, and it was McCaffrey's worst game as a Niner. This is why he was hired. He's known about this opponent. We keep talking about Shanahan and the wrinkles. Mike Macdonald is going to have wrinkles, and they are at home, and his defense is rested. I expect another great performance from the Seahawks and Mike Macdonald's defense, Willie.
Yeah, I'm going with Mike Macdonald's defense, too, especially the defensive line. They have to condense the pocket on this Niners offensive line, who is banged up. I talked about Choate Williams coming back. I talked about Purdy. He tends to see ghosts, especially in big moments. If this defensive line can oppose their pressure, and I don't have to talk about it. I got another graphic for you, Greg. I know you love my graphics. You look forward to them.
You put Troy to work
Hey,
here.
man, look at this. This is Purdy under pressure. Not good. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 4.8 yards. Not good under pressure. Let me say it again. So I expect this defensive line by the Seattle Seahawks and company to put the nails to Purdy, man. It's going to be a long day for Purdy. And the 12th man's coming, Greg.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a long day for Purdy, but when in doubt, let CMC bail you out. You got to get the ball to Christian.
T-shirt.
You got to get the ball to Christian McCaffrey by any means necessary. You're going into this game. We understand you're without George Kittle. Ricky Pearsall will be a great addition. He can kind of keep the defense honest, if you will. But let's make no mistake about it. This game, if the 49ers are able to pull this out, we're going to see a heavy dose of that guy on your screen, Christian McCaffrey, both in the run game, which it's gonna be uphill sled. So in the pass game, that's where you're gonna see him jump off the tape. Down in, down out. He's going to be the guy that they're trying to get the ball in the hands of.
It doesn't seem like there's a number of targets that's too high for him.
No.
It's like Puka Nacua sometimes has crazy target numbers. Colston Loveland last week had 15 targets. I could see them being like, well, I guess it was 21 targets.
Leads the league in yards after contact, so you just want to get the ball in his hands.
But you are picking the Seahawks.
I'm picking the Seahawks.
But you're saying
this is not who we're picking.
I get it. You're saying the only path for San Francisco is if McCaffrey.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Has
I thought you was gonna flip-flop on me.
I just want he's playing both sides a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
He clarified. What's our next game?
Texans at Patriots.
So I'm going back to the quarterback and I'm going with Drake Maye. Because the Houston defense is incredible. I think Will Anderson might be the second best defensive player in football. He is incredible at quick pressures, him and Daniil Hunter, their secondary, how physical they play, DeMeco Ryan, everything about the Houston Texans defense is great. But Drake Maye has seemingly defied all odds of what a second-year quarterback can do while under pressure. The poise of Drake Maye under pressure this year, it's like, why do you have more yards per pass under pressure than Matt Stafford?
A lot of first there.
Like, he's 24 years old. That's supposed to be Mahomes, Allen,
being ahead of schedule.
Stafford, Prescott. That's supposed to be the guys who've been 10 years in the league, have seen every defense, have seen every confusing thing you could do. I think his mobility, his ability to run to set up the pass is going to be a way for New England to score in what I expect to be a race to 20 points in this game. And while he will be pressured and the Texans defense will have their moments, I think Drake Maye ultimately gets it done. Willie?
Yeah, I'm going with the Pats, and I'm going with Stephon Diggs. Look, he's going to be my impact player. One of the things Stephon Diggs has to do right now is threaten this secondary of the Texans, And when you talk about Stephon Diggs does really well, especially, they're going to play bracket coverage. They're going to trap him. They're going to motion him, get him on top of the sticks. And also, man, they're going to use him as a decoy to condense the splits, right? Which is going to allow, especially this offense for the Pats to open up. Because The biggest thing I saw in the Texans versus Steelers game was that it was such a heavy box. They did DK, they rolled covers to him, they raced him off the field. They couldn't get outside, especially outside these tight ends. If they're able to threaten down the field, that's going to open up the run game for the Pats and Ramondre Stevenson. So, yeah, it comes up to Stephon Diggs. He has to be a threat down the field.
He stole your receiver.
Did you have Stephon Diggs?
No, I didn't.
No, I just typecasted a receiver.
I don't want to continue to confuse you guys, so I'm going to say I am going with the Texans. However, the impact player is Will Campbell. If all of what you guys are hoping happens,
Hey, that's a good one though.
If any of what you guys want to have
He was leaky
happen,
last week. He was. Did you not hear that Collinsworth say? He goes, if the Patriots lose next week, it's going to be because of this left side of the offense.
I'm telling you right now, like he's going to see Danielle Hunter as well as Will Anderson Jr. He's going to have his hands full the entire game. No plays off, no extra breaths in between reps. You better come to play every single snap because those boys coming at you and they just coming at you with everything they have. Look, I believe he has the goods to deliver. If he delivers, the Patriots might just upset or not, wouldn't be an upset. They might just walk away with this win. I don't think it happens.
So this is a justify the top 5 pick
Absolutely.
game.
By the way, we all got the Pats, by the way.
Patriots.
I got the Texans.
He's got the Texans.
I'm just saying, it looks like.
I know it does look.
I know what you're saying, but
Yeah. You got to listen.
I do. I'm saying I'm listening.
I'm saying to the audience. I know you're listening. At the airport, it might be a little confusing. All right, last game, please.
Rams at Bears.
Gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
You're all expecting. I already went with 2 quarterbacks.
Gentlemen.
I'm not going 3 for 3. I'm going with multi-time friend of the show, Ben Johnson. Because apparently the NFL can't handle a villain. Apparently they can't handle a rivalry. I got to hear Peter Schrager talking to Bill Simmons about they've really upset the Matt LaFleur. The Sean McVay coaching tree is mad about the handshake. Oh, I'm sorry. This is insane.
It's insane.
Ben Johnson is 2-0 against Sean McVay. Now, when he was a coordinator with the Lions, but still, these are 2 of the great young offensive mind, play caller masterminds. And everyone talks about the Bears defense, and it's totally fair. I care about how you're playing going into the playoffs. The Rams are allowing 28 a game since week 12 going into the playoffs. I have to be afraid of a team that lost to Atlanta 2 weeks ago. I'm supposed to be afraid of a team that just gave up 31 to Carolina and every third game has a blocked kick on special teams and it's going to be sub-zero weather, fair weather, in Chicago. Ben Johnson, most impactful person in this game. Greg?
I'm going on the defense side of the ball.
Oh, wow. What's happening here?
For who?
For the Bears.
Really?
Yeah, Montez Sweat.
That would be lovely. I would love
that.
Now,
hold up. The Rams get Kevin Dotson back now.
I understand.
Okay.
Big matchup.
But what you saw in that Bears-Packers wild card round was a swarming of defenders just making Jordan Love uncomfortable. We saw Matthew Stafford against the Carolina Panthers get a little uncomfortable, get pressured, throwing hidden helmets, all the different things. Montez Sweat can not only get you in as far as pressuring you, but he can also disrupt you in the passing lanes, getting his hands up, deflecting balls, whatever it takes. If Montez Sweat is active and heavily active, good things happen on the back end of that defense. They get turnovers.
Yeah, there's no way in hell the Bears win this game if this man shows up, and that's Devontae Adams. He was targeted 13 times last week and only caught 5 balls. If he shows up and does better than what he did last week, on top of Puka Nakua's production, Jalen Johnson doesn't have a shot. I love the Bears story, but it will come to an end if that man shows up. By the way, he's comfortable in Chicago.
He does have experience.
He's a little comfortable.
He definitely is comfortable.
He definitely has experience. Yeah, I said earlier that 505 is in play if it gets real ugly for Chicago, which is the playoff record for passing yards. Tom Brady had 505 yards in that loss to the Eagles. Let's go, Bears defense. Time to show up. Coming up next, Patrick Mahomes. He's already talking about playing in week 1.
Sit down, Pat.
Who could have seen that coming? Except everybody. I'm going to give you guys a preview right now of some of the stories we're going to hear, okay? Mahomes was miserable watching the NFL playoffs, and it really motivated him to attack rehab.
It's hard to watch these playoff games.
And he worked out harder than he's ever worked before.
I'm in that training room every single day, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm ready to go as quickly as possible.
then he's going to hear that Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes, and that's going to motivate him to really attack rehab and come back better than ever. He was fueled by the disrespect and the doubt. He was going to be compared to Adrian Peterson and Tom Brady, and then he's going to be back playing football.
I mean, I want to be ready for week 1. Doctor said that I could be.
That's pretty good, Danny.
I mean, listen.
That's pretty good.
Hey, man.
That's pretty good.
What does my guy Bomani Jones says? Listen to me now, believe me later on. Listen, it's easy to predict. We still have a few more to go. Eventually Mahomes will come out, maybe when he's playing golf in Tahoe, and he'll be like, hey, Josh, they're saying you're better than me. That's coming out. Then someone's going to comp him. Brady's already going to talk about how he told him how to attack rehab, the whole thing. He's been disrespected, doubted. People aren't going to pick him next year. He's playing week 1, man.
Yeah,
he's playing.
I'm encouraged because he looks like he hasn't been in the sun, right? It looks like he's been indoors. He looks a little light. But nevertheless, man, he has the will of a champion. I expect him to be on time. My biggest fear is I don't want him to overdo it because I feel like he feels the intensity that's coming from the organization, especially with pieces fleeting and leaving the organization. So take it easy.
He gonna be all right. Like you could just the way he's saying all these things. Like, he ready. He gonna be ready. He will be ready. When you're that motivated, and very few players are driven the way the great and the elite great players are. He's one of them. I can only imagine what this feels like watching these playoffs.
He has no idea.
Well, I'll say this question for you. If Kelsey says I'm staying, that probably ramps it up for him.
I
don't think he needs anything to ramp it up.
I think he's got 10 years left anyway. And so I think he's just like, I hate missing the playoffs and I'm coming back. And what's he going to do? Not attack rehab?
Yeah.
He's a professional athlete. And I'm not a doctor, but these guys all come back from ACLs. He's going to be just fine.
Go Bears?
Of course. Bear down, baby. Bear down.